Chapter 51. Even someone as steady as Qin He was caught off guard. He stood up, with his back against the wall, and cautiously peeked in to activate his eagle eye talent. Open your eyes wide and check the target's basic attributes. Zhang Heheng level, LV6 occupation, charger constitution, 31 strength, 40 agility, 20 spirit, 13 talent. Blood courage, 1, strength permanently increases by 10%, 2, strength increases by 3% for every additional minute of battle duration, can be stacked up to 10 times. Zhang Heheng. Qin He saw the name. I just wanted to laugh. It turns out you were using my name to deceive me. It's obvious that he is here to trick people into killing him. What a smart little kid. His profession is charger, and his talent of blood bravery is quite powerful. You are Qin He? Really? You are the Qin He who fought against the Lord-level zombies alone. Qin He responded loudly. But the man came to the east window with a powerful crossbow. One was seen holding a Molotov cocktail in one hand and a lighter in the other. This is obviously a case of trying to kill by force when deception fails. Yes. It was me, but I was just lucky. Zhang Heheng was delighted when he saw the other party's response. Just trick them out. After tricking them out, if they don't give us supplies, we'll kill them. Anyway, we've killed more than one. Really? Are you really alone? That's amazing. When Qin He said the word awesome, he raised his voice deliberately. Clear. At the same time, the trigger was pulled and the man under the east window was shot in the throat. He fell to his knees, sobbing, holding his neck, without even uttering a groan. Really, I've always been alone. Do you want to fight against the zombies in the second chapter with me? Zhang Heheng shouted while standing outside. At this time, Qin He had already come to the south window, where two people holding crossbows were standing. Do I have this honor? I am indeed very excited. Qin He crouched down and activated the charged arrow. 3, 2, 1, stand up and aim. Pull the trigger. The charged arrow hit a person under the window. At the same time, he raised his gun and threw it out. Another person was about to shout. Hey brother, how? The tempered spear pierced his chest. But he still called it out. Qin He immediately jumped out of the window, reloading his crossbow in the process. He landed on the ground and pulled out the spear that was stuck in the man's heart. He swept the spear across, cutting the neck of the man who was immobilized. Immediately. I immediately stepped towards the west wall and saw a man holding a Molotov cocktail. The man was immediately panicked when he saw the man coming with a spear in his left hand and a crossbow in his right hand. Just as he was about to shout, he was shot in the chest by a crossbow arrow. Qin He stepped forward quickly and shot the man's neck. Add more shots. In just a dozen seconds, 4 people were taken care of. Not good. Zhang Heheng suddenly felt something was wrong. But he also couldn't see what was happening in other directions of the house. At this time, a man in black, holding a shield in his left hand and a bloody spear in his right hand, walked out from the west side. You! What did you do to my brothers? Zhang Heheng drew the long sword from his waist. Aren't you alone? I don't see your brothers. Qin He has an ignorant face. Stop pretending and go to hell. Zhang Heheng raised his knife and rushed forward. Only now did he understand that the other party's responses just now were intentional. Distract them, then kill them one by one. But he just took a step. He suddenly felt cold all over. Look down. I was stunned. Why don't I have any clothes? Where are the shoes? Where are your pants? At this time, he found a palm-sized toad squatting not far from his feet. The toad's eyes seemed to be mocking. Grass. I'll kill, me. Zhang Heheng was stunned again and looked at his right hand. Damn it! Where is my knife? Quack, the small palm-sized frog croaked twice. Looks very innocent. Brother, spare my life. I can serve you. Zhang Heheng fell to his knees with a thud. Qin He stabbed the other man in the chest with a gun. Effectiveness? 1 second he wants to kill someone, the next he says he wants to serve. But don't be so funny. To be honest, Qin He would never make friends with such people. It is difficult to raise a villain. Quack. Vinci jumped to the feet of his own Lao Qin. The latter bent down, picked it up and put it in his breast pocket. You, Da Vinci, the reconnaissance frog, have done a great job. Qin He took out the feed bugs to reward Da Vinci for his performance. Then he walked aside and sat on a stone to think. Let's talk about what happened today. If there was no Leonardo da Vinci, if I happened to be sleeping, maybe I won't be as calm as before. In the apocalypse, we must guard against mutated creatures and zombies, but we must also guard against humans. Your Da Vinci popped his head out of your pocket and licked your face. He thought that after stripping that man naked today, you only gave him 2 worms. Isn't that a little too little? Your Da Vinci happily swallowed the bug you handed him again, wondering why you didn't go back to the room. It started raining outside again. Da Vinci watched you stand up, take out an umbrella to block the rain, and didn't enter the room, which was a bit strange at this time. The first person to be killed got up from the ground. His eyes had turned grey and he sniffed his nose. A ho-ho sound came out of the mouth rushing towards Qin He. Clear. Qin He shot its head with a crossbow arrow. The knockback effect is triggered, and the whole zombie hangs on the metal spike barricade. Ding, kill a level 5 zombie, experience plus 5.25, doomsday gold plus 1. Bonus for the title of the top climber. I won't write it deliberately in the future, for fear of being criticized. Then, the second, third, and fourth people who were killed also turned into zombies and rushed out from the ground. Qin He held an umbrella in his left hand and a hardened spear in his right hand. After the 2 zombies entered the killing range. Hold the gun and sweep across. 3 heads were cut off. Ding, kill a level 4 zombie, experience plus 4.2, doomsday gold plus 2. Ding, kill a level 5 zombie, experience plus 5.25, doomsday gold plus 3. Ding, kill a level 3 zombie, experience plus 5.25, doomsday gold plus 3. He continued walking forward and came to Zhang Heheng's body. The latter opened his grey eyes instantly. Phew! The gunhead burst out of the brain. Ding, kill a level 5 zombie, experience plus 5.25, doomsday gold plus 5. Your Da Vinci understands. You are making the best use of everything. No wonder you kill people without poking their brains. I feel embarrassed when I strip others naked, but you, Lao Qin, strip them naked. As expected, you are my master. Your Da Vinci feels you patting his head. He thinks it is not the right time to travel. Besides, who would go out in the rain? Isn't it nice to sleep at home when it rains? Your Da Vinci discovered that you were stripping the clothes off those zombies, and suddenly realized that as a frog boy, I am really not as good as you after a moment. Qin He put several blank combat uniforms, 2 novice combat crossbows, and a long sword into the brain warehouse. These can all be sold for money. What Da Vinci just collected has been automatically transferred to the brain warehouse. Qin He walked around the top platform again. I returned to the room after not finding anything unusual. At this moment, a red light shot straight into the sky. It exploded into a colorful flame. Some nice fireworks. The world chat channel became lively again. There are fireworks. Wo cao, this firework is so beautiful. On the night of the end of the world, seeing such beautiful fireworks, I was instantly healed. It's really beautiful. It would be nice if there was another one. Whoosh, another red light shot up into the sky. The fire got bigger. The fireworks that scattered after the explosion were also brighter. It's so beautiful. I originally wanted to set off fireworks when I got married. Seeing such beautiful fireworks has rekindled my fighting spirit. Lu Zioxiu, I love you, can you see it? Bang! The fireworks exploded for the second time. Several large red fireworks words appeared in the sky. A wave of zombies is coming. Channels around the world suddenly went silent. Qin He smiled. This is FG brilliant. Your Da Vinci feels that your smile at this moment is like that of a child. Chapter 52. When the fireworks faded, the roars of zombies could be heard throughout the night. According to the setting of the 7 Nights of Zombie Tide in the 2nd chapter, zombies will actively look for survivors. This means that no matter how secretly you hide, zombies will find you. Qin He jumped up and grabbed the edge of the hole in the roof. Do pull UPS and then jump onto the roof. Looking around, there were flames in many places throughout the city. There were also some shouts and roars coming from the distance. Because it was too far away, I couldn't hear it clearly. Ho ho, at this time, a zombie climbed up from the east side of the mountain top. I looked up and saw someone standing on the roof. He roared and rushed forward. Qin He picked up the powerful crossbow and took aim. Shooting. Clear. The crossbow arrow flew through the zombie's head. The zombie fell to the ground due to inertia of running. Kill with one hit, very easy. The main reason is that the area of the top of the mountain where he is located is only the size of 4 basketball courts. His cabin was in a central position, not far from the edges of the surrounding hilltops. With the zombies running forward, the distance was shortened again. After so long of adaptation and use. This kind of distance precision shooting may not be 100% accurate, but it's almost there. Then, the second zombie climbed up from the position of the first zombie. He ran 2 steps forward and was pierced in the head by a crossbow arrow. Triggers a knockback effect. He flew backwards and fell down the mountain. But it left the burst of white light on the top of the mountain. As the saying goes, leave behind fame and honor, and leave when the work is done. A zombie with a lot of personality. After more than 10 seconds, no new zombies appeared. What's going on? Qin He frowned. Why don't I attract zombies? Or is the zombie tide over? It's just very strange. He glanced at the world chat window. I noticed that no one was talking. Obviously everyone was killing zombies. So, when the first zombie tide begins, who still has the mood to watch the world chat channel? Just you? Ho ho, at this time, another zombie appeared. The place they climbed up to was the same place the previous 2 zombies climbed up to. How strange! Qin He picked up the crossbow and pulled the trigger. The zombie fell to the ground. This time, it took more than 20 seconds before new zombies crawled up. Same location. To be honest, Qin He wanted to retain the title of number 1 on the ranking list. After all, killing a monster gives you extra experience. But, at this rate of corpse tide which is as constipated as this, I'm afraid my level will be surpassed soon. What's going on? Could it be that I have encountered a tide of fake zombies? Qin He immediately jumped from the roof to the ground. He holds a shield in his left hand and a tempered spear at an angle in his right hand. Run towards the place where the zombies crawled up. As soon as we arrived at the location, a zombie showed its head. A bullet pierced through his head, and a grey beam of light burst out. Qin He stood on the edge of the mountain top and looked down. I was stunned by the scene before me. A large group of zombies were climbing up the slope, but the surface of the slope was a broken tar road. It was too tilted, there was no foothold, and it was too slippery due to the rain. Just when he was halfway up, a zombie accidentally fell down. He knocked down the fellow who was climbing up with great effort from behind. Infinite reciprocation, cycle. Fortunately, they are zombies and are not afraid of tiredness or hardship. If it were a human, he would have been exhausted to death long ago. No wonder Zhang Heheng and his people wanted to occupy this hill. This is a feng shui treasure land. The only places to climb up were broken rocks and soft earth. But the path was too narrow and only one person could climb up at a time. Qin He immediately checked the other 3 hillsides. Boy, it's a similar situation. There are more than 100 zombies at the foot of the mountain on all 4 sides. It turned out that it wasn't that the zombies didn't pay attention to him, but that they simply couldn't climb up. See this situation? Qin He said he felt much better. He was holding a powerful crossbow. Shoot one by one. It can be considered as practicing archery. But the zombies crawled too slowly. He wanted to cheer these zombies on. That's a bit outrageous. It was drizzling and Qin He was holding an umbrella. Use your left hand to slide the world chat channel, and use your right hand to shoot from time to time. This feeling is inexplicably leisurely. Shura 95, hey! Is anyone there? Come out and chat for a while. Shura 95, ha ha ha, I climbed up a 400-meter high square mountain. It took those stupid zombies a long time to climb up one of them. I killed them with my sword. It was so easy. Shura 95, hey! Usually there aren't a lot of people here, why is no one talking today? Don't tell me you're busy fighting zombies, I don't believe it. Shura 95, hee hee, you guys keep busy, don't envy me. I feel like in my position, it's the second night and the zombies from the first night haven't completely crawled up yet, haha, I'm so happy. Qin He raised his hand and shot a zombie that was crawling up. At this moment, a long roar exploded in the sky. Looking up, I saw a bird flying high above my head. Heading towards a high mountain. Qin He's eagle eyes talent allows him to see flies 100 meters away at night. The bird was a little far away from him. But it is estimated that the wingspan is about 10 meters. Oh my goodness, it must be a mutated creature. Qin He looked at the big bird circling above the high mountain. The next moment it dived down like a bullet. Clear. Qin He shoots a zombie that is crawling up. The latter's grey eyes were wide open. Obviously, he was killed after climbing up with great effort, and he felt very unwilling. Trigger the knockback effect and fly backwards. He fell heavily to the foot of the mountain. Qin He looked up again and continued to look at the top of the mountain in the distance. Suddenly, the great bird soared into the sky, holding a man between its claws. The distance is too far, so I can only see a rough outline. Then, the big bird continued to climb higher into the sky. Qin He looked at it and it had already turned into a small black dot in the air. I guess the big bird loosened its claws. A smaller black dot fell rapidly. It's that person. Damn it. Big bird is embarrassed. Shura 95, everyone, I was captured by a giant bird mutant. It pecked open my stomach and probably ate my kidneys. Shura 95, while I'm still breathing, I'm telling you guys, don't climb that high. Even if zombies can't come, birds will always come. Shura 95, everyone, I was lost by that big bird and I am falling rapidly from a high altitude. I am dying. I am very scared, but I have fulfilled my childhood wish. I am flying. Shura 95, let me sing a song for you. I want to fly. Qin He saw Fei and there was no further news. He looked up and saw that the man had fallen into the city ruins on the ground. Poor man. Clear. Qin He killed the zombies again. He felt there was no need to waste time. He stood up, held an umbrella, and pulled the trigger of the crossbow with one hand. While walking on the edge of the mountain top, shoot at the zombies below. 20 minutes later, Qin He shot and killed the last zombie. The rain became more intense at this time. Bang! Suddenly, a firework exploded above him. The red and green fireworks were very beautiful. Then a few words appeared in the fireworks. Elite is coming. I know that behind beauty there is always evil. Qin He shrugged. At this moment, the ground beneath my feet shook. It's like something is drilling underneath. Isn't there another python coming? Boom! The tarmac-covered road on the eastern slope was shattered in an instant. A large red head the size of a millstone and covered with scales slowly rose from the edge of the mountain top. The two tentacles on the top of its head are more than 3 meters long, and below the tentacles are a pair of mouthparts that are like oversized pliers. They were colliding with each other, making a crackling sound. Then he lay down on the edge of the mountain with his legs crossed under his belly. Elite Centipede. Chapter 53. Qin He immediately stepped back holding an umbrella. Activate the Eagle Eye talent. Stare. View the target's basic properties. Golden Centipede Elite 3 stars Constitution 100 Strength 120 Agility 100 Spirit 30 Exclusive Skill, Tail Temptation. The Golden Centipede will use its tail to pretend to be a head, attracting the target's attention, and attack with its head when it is not prepared. Exclusive Skill, Poisonous Mouth. The two mouth parts on the mouth will bite the target, and the dense fangs in the mouth will inject toxins into the target's body, corroding the target into a pool of rotten meat and eating it. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Qin He stepped back again. This thing actually has 2 skills. Moreover, the 3 attributes are very high, except for the spiritual attribute which is relatively low. Maybe I'm stupid. Fortunately, there was no blood bar floating on the head. Can kill directly by weak point. At this time, the centipede's body, as thick as a gasoline barrel, had already climbed halfway up to the platform on the top of the mountain. It is estimated to be about 6 or 7 meters long. Snap! Snap! The mouth parts of the Golden Emperor centipede open and close. The sound it makes is like metal hanging on frosted glass. That sounds like a toothache. Qin He put away the umbrella and stored it in the warehouse in his brain. What he is concerned about now is the head of the Golden Emperor centipede in front of him. Is it a real head or a real butt? It should be the head. Qin He thought about it and activated the charging arrow to start charging. After all, even if it is a mutated creature, it wouldn't have mouth parts on its butt. At this time, the entire body of the Golden Emperor centipede climbed onto the platform, which was 12 or 13 meters long. The densely packed legs under the abdomen move at the same frequency. Looks very relaxing. Qin He activates Eagle Eye. Squint your eyes and check for weaknesses. Golden Centipede weakness, if you take off its skull, the weakness should be there. This Qin He was a little speechless about this explanation. Forget it, let's open its skull first. Call. The Golden Emperor Centipede raised its tail, which also had 2 tentacles. Shake in front of Qin He. Obviously he was pretending to be a fool. Clear. Charge arrow to fire. Triggers immobilization. After all, the centipede is so big that you can shoot it with your eyes closed. Qin He immediately jumped up and landed on the head of the Golden Emperor Centipede. Take out armor violence great strength * battle axe from the backpack. Raise it high above your head and swing the axe down. Phew. A crack was split in the head armor of the Golden Emperor Centipede. A stream of green juice flowed out from the gap. Axe durability -1. Axe durability -1. Is centipede brain fluid corrosive? Phew. Qin He continued to wield the axe. The damage has been done, so continue to deal damage. The battle axe still has 299 durability. Afraid of hair? Phew. Qin He swung the axe and struck again at the gap he had just made. The centipede's head armor continues to expand. Green juice gushed out like a spring. Crack, crack, crack. The immobilized state disappeared, and the Golden Emperor Centipede shook its head wildly. Qin He landed on the ground and rolled forward to relieve the force. He stood up and raised his shield, with the crossbow placed on the shield. The Golden Emperor Centipede opened its mouth wide, revealing its densely packed poisonous fangs. All the feet moved at once and charged forward. Qin He already knows his attack skills and patterns. This long creature attacks with its mouth. As the saying goes, the fight is all about mouthing, and your legs will be broken in the next second. Qin He moved to the right to dodge the Golden Emperor Centipede's attack. He immediately put away his shield, hung up his crossbow, and swung his axe to sweep across. Swish! Several centipede legs were cut off at the root. This kind of swish feeling is really stress relieving. Crack, crack, crack. The Golden Emperor Centipede felt the pain, turned over, opened its mouth parts and pounced back madly. Qin He uses flirtatious movement. Strength and agility increased by 3 times. He dodged quickly and swung the axe again to cut the centipede's legs. Swish! A row of legs landed again. The Golden Emperor Centipede swept its head across and struck. Qin He ducked and slid forward, swinging the violent axe. Another row of legs fell to the ground. Cutting centipede legs is simply a great way to relieve stress. After such an intense battle, Qin He felt relaxed both physically and mentally after cutting his legs. Not fighting, but relaxing. Crack, crack, crack. At this time, all the legs on the right side of the Golden Emperor Centipede's body were gone. Can only crawl on left leg. But the embarrassing thing is that if I only use my left leg, I can only draw an arc on the spot. Qin He slowly picked up the powerful crossbow. Charge arrow cooldown has expired. 3, 2, 1 clear. A blue arrow shot into the centipede's mouth. Freeze. Qin He immediately rushed forward and chopped off the centipede's head armor with one axe. Enable Eagle Eye. Squint your eyes to check for weaknesses. Golden Emperor Centipede weakness: after peeling off the head armor, you will find a walnut-sized white brain inside the green juice. Just crush it. Qin He swung the axe again, and the entire centipede's head armor was blown off. The juice flowed everywhere. Amidst some tangled flesh and tendons, there is a brain the size of a walnut. Phew! Qin He crushed it with one foot. Ding! Killing a 3-star Golden Emperor Centipede will reward you with 105 experience points, including bonuses, and 100 Doomsday Gold coins. Ding! Triggering Da Vinci's surprise, the explosion rate increases by 500%. 3 white, 2 green, and 1 purple beams of light lit up. Purple. As steady as Qin he is also very excited. Do 3-star elite monsters also drop purple? Yes, it was Leonardo da Vinci who was pleasantly surprised. Qin He put away all the cards. Immediately walked around the platform on the top of the mountain. There are no zombies or mutant creatures. Buzz! A curtain of light appeared in front of him. It says, "Congratulations, you have resisted the zombie tide on the first night. After the zombie tide is over, no zombies will approach you. Doomsday games do not lie to Doomsday players." Qin He had a dull expression. Whether true or false, be cautious. As for the corpse of the Golden Emperor Centipede in front of him, Qin He directly stores it in the brain warehouse. I don't know if the taste of this thing can be compared with mantis shrimp. Keep it for now. Let others try it later. It's new. You have to be considerate of others to be polite. Return to the room and take out the hand sanitizer from the brain warehouse to wash your hands. Then spray the whole body with alcohol disinfectant to disinfect. These were all brought from my landlady's house. Obviously she is a clean person. After cleaning, he sat by the window to rest. In the ruined city in the distance, the roars of zombies and mutant creatures are still lingering. Da Vinci came out of his pocket and licked Qin He's chin. Your Da Vinci is asking you, where is the big bug just now? It's gone again? Spendthrift old Qin, I go out to bring things home every day, but you're wasting money, that's meat. Your Da Vinci closed his eyes, shrunk back into his pocket, and planned to take a nap first. He would go out to look for Xiao Hui tomorrow no matter what. Your Da Vinci is thinking, I don't know if Xiao Hui is still alive, I hope he doesn't die, it's not easy to have a friend. Qin He was keeping watch, while taking out the card that exploded when he killed the Golden Emperor Centipede. 3 white cards, Reinforced Steel Plate X1, Reinforced Barbed Wire X1, Novice Combat Boots X1. Is it possible? Qin He thought. Now when you kill mutated creatures and zombies, half of the drops are building and defense materials. Could it be that the monster drops are adjusted according to different chapters? I think so. 2 green cards, Corrosive Venom X1 Bottle Sober Peony, it is formed by the mutation of the peony flower, and it emits a light fragrance. Living in this fragrance will make you feel refreshed and clear-headed. Good fellow. Qin He seemed to understand. The second achievement task in the second chapter is to select a warm shelter. Therefore, the things that were exposed were also related to decoration. It's quite outrageous. What he is most looking forward to is the purple card, not a pot of flowers. That would be very uncomfortable. Level B Poison Arrow Fusion Module. This module can fuse the quiver with the poison materials required. 1. Grade B Quiver 2 bottles of venom. 3. Doomsday Gold Coins 200. 160 is enough to automatically detect the coin necklace. 2 bottles of venom. Qin He remembered that a bottle had exploded when he killed the black python before. As for the B-level quiver, this is the one I'm using now. Blends instantly. Get B Capacity Recovery Corrosion Crossbow Quiver Deputy Right Constitution +1 Strength +1 Agility +1 Spirit +1 Top Quality Attributes, Capacity 60, 1 bottle restored every 30 seconds. Top Quality Attribute, Poison Arrow, when shot into the target's skin and flesh, it will corrode and cause continuous bleeding. This poison is great. Qin He smiled and put away his quiver. Take out the pot of sober peony and place it on the windowsill. I sat by the window and continued to keep watch. Sniff, smell the fragrance of the sober peony. I felt instantly refreshed. Not sleepy anymore, I'm excited again. A night passed. Qin He always stays refreshed. At this moment, Da Vinci jumped out of his breast pocket. Your Da Vinci is looking at you, waiting for you to feed him. After he is full, he will go back to work. Da Vinci swallowed the worm you put in his palm. He was thinking about the big worm yesterday. Da Vinci is full and waiting for you to pat his head. It feels your touch, and feels full of energy and vigor. It jumps off your arms, jumps down from the second floor, goes out the door, and comes to the edge of the platform on the top of the mountain. It takes a look at the corpse of the zombie lying on the hillside, but does not react. Your Da Vinci jumped down the hillside on the east side. Because the soil on the hillside was soft, it slid down automatically, and continued to slide automatically. Da Vinci felt a burning sensation in his stomach. Da Vinci slid to the middle of the mountain and stopped. His stomach hurt from rubbing against the dirt. He looked up and saw a grey figure popping out from under the stone, with shifty eyes. Your Da Vinci gets excited, and the shifty guy also sees Da Vinci. The two creatures look at each other, get closer, one licks, and the other sniffs. Chapter 54. This little grey is really lucky. Qin He smelled the scent of the peony flowers. I feel excited again. Even though the frog baby is out, I can't sit idle either. As a hard-working person, sleep for an hour before going to work. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui slipped down the hillside and discussed where to go. They thought that since they came down from the east slope, they should go east. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui trotted towards the east. They didn't know how far they had walked before they encountered a crack in the ground. The two little guys lay on the edge of the crack, as if they were trying to figure out how deep the crack was and whether they would die if they fell in. Your Da Vinci saw a stone that was shining with a light blue luster. He thought it was very beautiful and could take it home to decorate his home. After all, it would be embarrassing to invite Little Grey to visit his home now. Successfully received, Little Grey squeaked to remind him. Da Vinci looked in the direction that Little Grey's paw was pointing. On the branch of a small tree at the edge of the big crack, a zombie was hanging on it by its collar. The small tree was bent, and the zombie's body was floating in the big crack. Da Vinci was moved by compassion. The two little guys communicated by licking and sniffing, and came to the small tree. Little Grey was trembling reluctantly. Da Vinci slapped it on the head with his claws, saying, "As a rat, what are you afraid of? What are these two going to do?" Qin He was lying on the bed, watching the two guys' every move in his sleep. Although they wouldn't be stupid enough to jump into the cracks in the ground. But when you encounter zombies, you feel compassion. It's outrageous. Little Grey reluctantly crawled forward along the tree root. Halfway up, he became a little scared. He turned back to look at Da Vinci and decided that he couldn't embarrass himself in front of the soft and slippery frog. He turned his head and moved forward. Da Vinci shouted and gave orders, and Xiao Hui came to the crown of the small tree where the zombies were hanging. The zombies below raised their heads, looked at the mice with a pair of grey eyes, and made hoarse sounds. Xiao Hui bites the zombie's collar hanging on the branch. After a few minutes, 1/3 of the collar hanging on the branch is bitten off. Crack! The collar can't bear the zombie's weight and tears apart. Then the collar broke completely, and the zombie fell into a big crack. Da Vinci was very happy. What a good little tree! Finally, it didn't need to be bent anymore, and finally stood up again. Da Vinci discovered that the bent tree suddenly stood up after losing the zombies. He watched Xiao Hui being ejected by the tree and flying away. Qin He opened his eyes. He was wondering if Xiao Hui could survive this time. What's outrageous is that the frog boy's compassion was actually directed towards the little tree. Not that zombie. Do you, little frog, like to protect plants now? Ding! Da Vinci indirectly killed a level 3 zombie, gaining experience plus 3.15 and doomsday coin plus 1. Indirect kill. Okay, outrageous. Da Vinci jumped in the direction where Xiao Hui flew away. Now he regretted letting Xiao Hui do this. After all, he didn't consider that Xiao Hui was so stupid. Da Vinci jumped a distance away, quacking and looking for Xiao Hui. He felt very sad now, as he might have lost his friend, and Xiao Hui might have killed himself because of his stupidity. Da Vinci continued to jump forward, quacking. Finally, he got a squeak in response from Little Grey. Da Vinci jumped up happily and followed the sound. In a ruin, he saw Little Grey jumping on a small sponge mat. Little Grey invited him to jump together. Xiao Hui is still alive. It's not easy. Qin He had to admit. In a ruin full of rubble, sharp stones, and broken steel bars. After Xiao Hui was bounced into the air by the tree. It actually fell right on a sponge pad. How lucky does this require? However, surviving the earthquake is enough to prove its luck. Qin He continued to sleep. After sleeping, I have to go to work. Da Vinci jumped onto the sponge. After jumping a few times, he found that the sponge was pretty good. If he collected it and used it as a mattress on the bed to sleep. Da Vinci activated his collecting ability on the sponge and collected it successfully. Da Vinci glanced at the confused Little Grey and licked its face, as if to say to it, "Things disappearing out of thin air are too common. I see it every day at home." Xiao Hui said he could understand the two friends were about to go have some fun, when suddenly a blue and white box fell from the sky and landed in front of them, nearly crushing them. Da Vinci discovered that there was a person running towards this side, with an extremely excited look on his face. When he saw the person picking up the blue and white box, he discovered him and Xiao Hui. The man holding the box drools from the corner of his mouth. He puts the box down and reaches out to grab it. Xiao Hui and Da Vinci crawl into the gap between the bricks and stones of the ruins. He hears the man outside cursing. Da Vinci sticks his head out. The man grabs again. Da Vinci shrinks his head and emerges from another gap in the ruins, using his collecting ability on the blue and white box. The collection is successful. Da Vinci looks through the gap in the bricks and sees the man standing there in a daze, looking around for the box with an incredible look on his face. 3 seconds later, Little Grey was lying in the crack of the stone. He saw the man's pants suddenly disappear, and then he ran away in panic. Little Grey raised his paws and rubbed his head, wondering how his pants disappeared. He shouted to Da Vinci to leave. Things would disappear inexplicably here. If we don't leave now, we will be gone. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui crawled out from the gaps in the ruins and continued to play around, working an hour later. Qin He got up from the bed and rubbed his eyes. I walked to the window and smelled the scent of the peonies. I feel really excited. In fact, he still felt a little bit reluctant to let Leonardo go out to work every day. He looked outside at the clearing sky. Although there was still grey dust in the air, the sun could still be seen. However, because the earthquake produced too much dust, the sunlight could not be felt. After getting dressed, Qin He walked out of the room. Also go down the mountain from the east. While going down the mountain, he looked at the place where the Golden Emperor centipede came out yesterday. The original asphalt road slope was broken, but it could still stop the zombies. Arrive at the foot of the mountain and head east. After searching for some distance, he looked up at the sky. I just happened to see a supply box floating down from the air. Wow, such a good thing happened when I went out. The luck should be good today. Among the achievement tasks in the second chapter, one of them is to collect supply boxes. The more you collect, the better. As the saying goes, a horse dies when it is over the hill. Qin He stared at the falling supply box and ran towards it. It is said to be running, but in fact it is just carefully observing the surrounding environment. I'm not afraid of zombies, but what I need to be wary of now is people. There are many good people in the world, but good people are forced into a corner by the environment. Subtle psychological changes may also occur. We didn't encounter any zombies along the way, they seemed to have disappeared out of thin air. Qin He stopped, squatted in a ruin, and looked ahead. There used to be a big theater there, but now it is in ruins. The grand theater stage, once beloved by performers, is now in ruins. And that supply box fell in the center of the stage. Qin He didn't go to get it immediately, but observed the surroundings. The supply box fell in the air before landing, and many people saw it. He wasn't the only one looking for the supply box. Chapter 55. In the ruins. A supply box fell in the center of the stage of the ruined theater. With it as the center, several waves of people are hiding in the outer ruins. All waiting quietly. Just now I noticed that there are at least 2 groups of people nearby. Let's not go up and take them first. As the saying goes, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the aureole behind. Do you understand? 2 people were squatting in the crown of a fallen tree to the north of the theater, one holding a crossbow and the other holding a shield and a single sword. The one who spoke was the one holding the crossbow. You don't have to tell me. We are definitely going to be birds. The man with the single sword smiled slightly, then frowned and said, but, if no one comes to take it, we'll just sit here and waste time. Why rush? Let's see the situation first. Okay, if not, I will be the praying mantis and you will be the aureole to cover my retreat. Are you so brave today? How about you be the mantis and I'll be the aureole? Grass. To the south of the Grand Theatre, 3 people were squatting in the ruins on the second floor of a half-built house. These bastards are really good at staying here. They didn't even try to get it. The young man holding 2 knives spat on the ground. It fell on the shoe of a teammate who was squatting next to him holding a single knife. Why don't you spit in my face? Do you want me to spit in your mouth? All right, stop arguing, both of you. The woman sitting behind the 2 young men tried to stop the fight in a coquettish way. He added, at worst, I can sing the Song of the Wind for both of you, so that you can double your speed. Then rush over and get it back and we'll retreat. That's too risky. Let's wait and see. I don't believe they can sit still and wait until night. What if it lasts till night? Just shut up. If you don't, I'm going to spit thick phlegm. East side of the Grand Theatre ruins. Cars were piled up in all directions. There were 2 women sitting in an SUV that was crushed in the middle. At the same time, he stared at the supply box on the stage not far away. It seems that the original owner of this car was quite particular, and actually kept these all year round. The woman sitting in the back seat had a clear voice. He used the dagger in his hand to cut open the backrest of the car. A first aid kit containing medicine and water was taken out. She put down the first aid kit and said with a hungry look on her face, I'm hungry, Zioxu, why don't we go get it first? Maybe there's no one around. Don't be stupid. The woman sitting in the front row turned her head and said seriously, you should know that many people have been eyeing the supply package before it even landed. Have you forgotten how your man died? Do you want to die the same way as your man? I don't want to. The woman in the back row thought of her boyfriend who had died tragically. My body couldn't help but tremble. His voice also became a little trembling, we are so weak, why can't we meet good people? Either all the good guys are dead. The woman in the front row continued to stare at the stage with a cold look in her eyes, or they will all be forced to become bad people. What should we do then? We don't need to get the supply boxes. We just need to keep an eye on who can survive to the end. If it's a woman, we will be sisters with her. If it's a man, it will be easier. You want to sell your body? That's really unfair to you. What can I do? Good sisters, of course we have to be together. Qin He, squatting on the west side of the Grand Theatre. The location he chose was about 70 meters away from the stage of the Grand Theatre. Behind him was a jagged ruin, and it would be difficult to find someone if they hid inside. It can be said that he can move freely in his current position. I have to say, the talent of Eagle Eye is really awesome. Just now he took a quick look at the surroundings and found that there were at least 5 groups of people waiting for an opportunity to strike. There were people among the treetops on the north side, and there were people in the house on the south side where only 2 floors of ruins were left. There were also 2 people in a pile of broken cars on the east side. The other 2 groups of people are located further back. But they have one thing in common, that is, they each control an intersection. This is obviously a case of the mantis stalking the cicada, while the sparrow is behind. If we just keep wasting time like this. What a waste of time. Vinci and Xiaohui are happily playing in a small mud pit. A zombie passes by and is splashed with mud by the water they splashed. Vinci and Xiaohui followed the zombies. The 2 little creatures imitated the zombies in their crooked walk. The zombies looked back at them. Is that polite? Vinci and Xiaohui, after having enough fun, walked through the ruins and went to a park before the earthquake. They saw a flower that was shining with white light. They had seen it before. Xiaohui looked at the flower and just as he showed an intoxicated expression, the flower was taken by Da Vinci. Frog Baby and Little Grey are both doing their work. It's a bit inappropriate for me to just sit here like an idiot. Qin He turned slightly sideways and looked at the center of the stage through the gap in the ruins in front of him. Still no one went to take it. It seems that no one is willing to rush out first. Qin He was thinking. How many seconds does the world champion of 100 meters take? The man named Bolt seemed to have run more than 9 seconds. If his speed is converted based on his current agility attribute, it should be around 20. Or a little more. Thinking of this, he estimated the distance from himself to the center of the stage again, which was more than 70 meters. My agility is now over 80. Agility attributes can be improved, which improves overall reaction, avoidance, speed, etc. rather than simply increasing speed. So, if we compare it this way, I should be at least twice as fast as that man. On a flat track, the 100 meters should be completed in 4 to 5 seconds. If you activate flirty movement to increase your agility, and then carry the berserk battle axe to increase your agility, the speed should be faster. But now we have to consider the ruins. All kinds of obstacles cannot be compared with a flat runway. The key point is to keep your eyes on the road while running. It would be embarrassing if you missed a step while running and sprained your ankle. Qin He stood up slightly and carefully observed the terrain between the supply box and his position. Plan your route. First, step on the broken concrete slab in front and jump onto the roof of the car in front. After jumping off the roof, there is about 10 meters of flat road. Then climb over a beam that had fallen from the theater. Then run through the aisle of theater seats. Jump onto the stage to collect the supply box, then return the way you came. After repeatedly deducing the route 3 times. All that's left is verification. Qin He stood up and half-crouched on the ground in the best possible way. Its own agility is 80. Turning on flirty movement will triple your agility for 10 seconds. Agility reaches 240. Holding the rage axe with both hands increases agility by 10%. Agility reaches 264. Qin He stood up and leaped out, running wildly according to the planned route. Under the north tree canopy. What's going on? No one's going yet. The lone man lay on the ground chewing leaves. Seeing that his teammate holding the crossbow did not reply to him, he glanced at him unhappily. I noticed that my teammates' eyes widened, and they raised their hands in astonishment, pointing in the direction of the stage. The man with a single sword quickly turned over and looked. I saw a black shadow come onto the stage, then the supply box disappeared, and the black shadow ran away again. Whoa grass! What is that? Too damn fast. South second floor. The woman, who was a hymnist, chanted the speed-assisting skill song of the wind to the 2 men. After her singing, the 2 men who were in good shape were just about to jump down from the 2nd floor and rush to the stage. Then I saw a dark shadow rushing out from the ruins and dancing onto the stage. Then the supply box disappeared. The shadow once again entered the ruins. What the hell? Do you see what that is? The two men stood there in a daze. The woman who had just finished singing looked exhausted and was sweating all over. Being a hymnist is very mentally draining. She said weakly, "Why are you two still standing there? Go get the box is gone ah." The woman held onto the ruins and went to the window to look out. The box is gone. She immediately yelled, "You two are useless. You made me exhausted and you didn't get anything done. You are useless." East. In an off-road vehicle. The woman in the back row opened her eyes and mouth wide. She said in astonishment, "Sister, I'm afraid we can't even sell our bodies this time, that guy is too fast." The woman in the front row sighed, "How can there be such fast people in the world?" In the distance, the people controlling the two intersections were all stunned. They still don't understand what it is. It should be one person. After all, animals can't do such a thing. At this time, Qin He went deep into the ruins of what was originally an underground parking lot. "I can't go home now, so I'll just hang out outside for a while. Make sure you are not being tracked." Now he found a secluded place to sit and rest. To be honest, so what even if the attributes are high? This kind of intense exercise will still make you tired. The main reason was that he didn't expect that 264 agility could run so fast, and his muscles that hadn't been exercised for a long time were a little sore. Take a break. Vinci suddenly became excited and fell in love. Qin He just lay down comfortably. He sat up in shock again. What? Love heart. Chapter 56. Vinci and Xiaohui are squatting, lying, on the flower bed in the dilapidated park after the earthquake. The flower bed is full of flowers that are flashing white light, and even the whole piece is dazzling. They are staring at the pretty figure in the flowers. Vinci opened his mouth, his tongue hanging out, drooling. He thought the figure in front of him was so beautiful. That pair of colorful, glittering wings, and that pair of cherry-sized compound eyes, really fascinated the frog. Two hearts appeared in Vinci's eyes. Xiaohui squatted beside him and didn't dare to break this indescribable and strange moment. Xiaohui didn't understand why his good friend could be so confused by a butterfly. Xiaohui remembered, his good friend said that he liked to eat flying insects, but this one was a bit big butterfly. Qin He curled his lips. Shouldn't froglets like froglets? Interracial relationships never work out. How many times has a wolf fallen in love with a sheep, and the sheep ended up turning into wolf excrement? The point is, flowers that sparkle with white light. The brilliant flower, the kind of brilliant flower whose petals wither and become delicate. And it's a full flower bed. This is all money. Vinci is drunk and blurry-eyed. He kicks Little Grey off the flower bed with his hind legs and lets him go. After all, he is redundant now. Little Grey lands on the ground, his eyes full of confusion. What's going on? The froglets are not allowed to watch him eat? Little Grey turns his head and sees a trash can. He immediately runs over happily. Vinci stared at the butterfly, and the more he looked at it, the more he liked it. He had never seen such a big butterfly before. The pair of wings as big as fans emitted streams of light when they fluttered. It's over. It fascinated me to death. Vinci jumped off the low wall of the flower bed, raised his head and twisted it, then raised his front paws to comb his eyes, and then jumped next to the butterfly, and made a quack sound. Vinci discovered that the butterfly ignored him. He thought that the butterfly might be shy. He croaked twice more, and the butterfly continued to suck the nectar of the radiant flower. Do butterflies have ears? Qin He considered this question again. To be honest, he really doesn't know. However, there is a serious problem now. How could Leonardo da Vinci, a frog, be attracted to a butterfly? From an ethical, no, biological point of view, it is impossible for the two of them to have any result. Could it be that the little frogs have never seen other little frogs? If you hold it in for too long, your orientation will change? No, this problem is too serious. The main thing is that the butterfly's wings are as big as a fan, which is outrageous. I'm afraid it's a mutated creature? Qin He couldn't sit still any longer. Da Vinci found that the butterfly ignored him, so he decided to take the butterfly back. After all, feelings can be cultivated slowly. Just like the frog and Lao Qin, they didn't have much feelings for each other at first, but after spending a long time together, they became brothers. Da Vinci thought about it and felt that this was true, but he still wanted to ask the butterfly for its opinion, so he croaked twice, but the butterfly did not respond. Your Da Vinci thinks that this is the butterfly's acquiescence, and the collection ability is activated, and the collection is successful. Da Vinci jumped up on the spot, looking very happy. The beautiful brilliant flowers in front of him were eclipsed in his eyes. Qin He shook his head and sneered. Sure enough, feelings can be cultivated over time. Although he was laughing, he looked around again. It seemed that no one was following him. Then he stood up and walked out of the parking lot ruins from the other side. But, you still can't go home first, as the saying goes. It is better to be safe than sorry. Your Da Vinci is very happy. His whole body is full of the power of a frightened frog. He jumps out of the flower bed and sees Xiao Hui scurrying around in the trash can. He shakes his head. It will be difficult for Xiao Hui to find a wife in the future. He is so old but still eats garbage. Da Vinci lies down next to the trash can, waiting for Xiao Hui to pick up the trash. After a few minutes, Xiao Hui climbs out of the trash can with a reluctant look on his face. The two good friends go home closely, keeping their distance. Xiao Hui wants to get closer, but Da Vinci thinks he smells bad. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui passed by a bus and found a zombie inside the bus, shaking stupidly. Xiao Hui felt pity for him, and Da Vinci slapped Xiao Hui on the head with his claws. This frog cub just wanted to go home now. This zombie in the bus is lucky. Qin He received news from Da Vinci as he walked. It's surprising that I encountered a time when the frog boy showed no sympathy. This zombie is already a lucky zombie. Frog went out and walked east. There seems to be a park in the east. It should be this direction. Qin He looked ahead. Now the whole city is in ruins. There is no reference point to determine the location. I can only rely on my feeling. He is now going to the flower bed to pick the brilliant flowers there. After all, it's harvest time. Collect your own flowers. There's nothing wrong with that. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui passed by a puddle. Xiao Hui invited Da Vinci to play in the water. Da Vinci continued to jump towards home. Only tadpoles like to play in the water. Da Vinci continued to jump towards home. Xiao Hui stood beside the puddle, watching his good friend jumping away. He felt very confused. Did you forget to take a bath in the puddle when you went out? Your Da Vinci continues to jump and has come to the foot of his home mountain. He was a little reluctant to go to such a high mountain, but now he is eager to go home. He said goodbye to Xiao Hui, and did not agree on the next time to go out and play. Xiao Hui was alone in a desolate ruin. What a poor mouse. Qin He smiled frivolously. At this time, he finally came to the dilapidated park. I saw a flash of white light. What a fruitful noon. Sure enough, hard work pays off. Your Da Vinci looked back at Xiao Hui and asked it, the homeless mouse, to follow him back first. Xiao Hui gladly accepted. When they reached the top of the mountain, Da Vinci pointed to a protruding rock and asked Xiao Hui to dig a hole there and make his home. Your Da Vinci couldn't wait to come to the room and jumped up to the second floor. He was very excited when he found that you were not at home. He thought you might have gone out to play. Da Vinci went downstairs and squatted on the edge of the mountain, waiting for you to come home. He felt that if you didn't come back, the butterflies wouldn't be released. Xiao Hui was digging a hole while staring at his good friend. Couldn't he come over to help dig the hole? Frog has gone home. Qin He stood on the flower bed, staring at the flower bed full of brilliant flowers with a look of joy on her face. The next second, he jumped off the flower bed and stored everything in the warehouse in his brain. This time it was really packed. Go home. On the way back, Qin He encountered a bus. A zombie inside saw him coming and lay on the window and banged on the glass. He suddenly remembered, isn't this the zombie of luck? Crash! Qin He shot through the glass. Another bullet pierced the zombie's head. Since Leonardo da Vinci had no compassion, then you can only move it yourself. Your Da Vinci is squatting on the top of the mountain, looking down the mountain, looking impatiently. Lao Qin, stop wasting time and go home quickly. Frog misses you. Chapter 57. Qin He went in a big circle. After making sure that no one was following him, he returned to his own hill. He killed several zombies on the way, plus the experience gained from killing zombies last night. The level has reached 14. He checked the ranking list and found that he was still ranked first. Those who have similar experience as him all have their own organizations, and if they work together to kill monsters, their efficiency will definitely be higher than that of himself. The main thing is that I don't seem to have deliberately tried to improve my level. This bad habit may need to be changed. However, it depends on the situation. The title on the wealth list is what he wants most. Just reached the top of the mountain. Da Vinci jumped to his feet impatiently. Your Da Vinci is very happy. He finally has you back. Hurry up and pat your head. Hurry up and pat your head. Your Da Vinci feels your touch and instantly feels refreshed. Your traveling frog Da Vinci has returned from his journey, and the items in his backpack are automatically transferred to your brain warehouse. Your Da Vinci jumped 1022 steps today. Sliding down the hill does not count, sliding down the slope of the ruins does not count, and gained 1022 points of travel experience. Are you traveling by skiing today? Qin He touched the Da Vinci and placed it in the palm of his hand. Take out the feed bugs to feed. While feeding, I watched Xiao Hui dig a hole next to the stone. Well, there is a new member in the family. Your Da Vinci wolfed down the bugs, and when he was full, he asked you to take out Xiao Mei, as he wanted to develop some feelings for her. Your Da Vinci sees your frown and surprised expression, and he feels the need to remind you that the butterfly is called Xiao Mei, because it is really beautiful. You carried your Da Vinci to the second floor. It watched you take out your shield, hold the crossbow, and take out Xiao Mei in a defensive posture. It thought you were being too formal. It must be grand. The moment when Qin He threw out Xiao Mei, butterfly. Shield raised, crossbow in hand. A butterfly can grow so big, it must be a mutant creature. Have to be on guard. After all, not everyone has the frog's buff that reduces the desire to eat. But, I have to say, Xiao Mei is very beautiful. The wings are as big as fans, and the two pairs of secondary wings are also the size of a palm. There is a long tail dragging under the secondary wing, emitting a rich white light. Nice. After the butterfly was released, it did not attack anyone. Instead, it flapped its wings and flew towards the pod of awakening peony on the windowsill. Circling and dancing over the peonies. Your Da Vinci hopped to the windowsill, found that he couldn't jump up, and hopped back to your feet. The meaning is obvious, he wants you to put him on the windowsill. Da Vinci was placed on the windowsill by you. He happily squatted under the peony pot, watching Xiao Mei flying around, intoxicated. He thought it was necessary to cultivate feelings from now on. Qin He shrugged. There was nothing he could do anyway. It was obvious that the butterfly had no interest in the froglet. Concentrating on eating nectar. If this goes on for too long, the little frog might give up. I don't know what this butterfly is like. Qin He activates the eagle eye talent. Stare and check the butterfly's attributes. Shining butterfly. Ordinary mutant constitution, 6 strength, 6 agility, 9 spirit, 2 exclusive skill, spreading pollen, can spread pollen to any mutated flowers. This butterfly is pretty good. After Qin He checked Xiao Mei's properties. Gave a very high rating. To be honest, among normal butterflies before the apocalypse, only a small number of them could spread pollen. Obviously, Xiao Mei is one of the small number. However, what makes Qin He worried, seriously speaking, it should make Da Vinci worried. It's just that Xiao Mei's mental attribute is a bit low, proving that she is not very intelligent. It is just a simple pollinating butterfly. So it's hard to respond to Leonardo da Vinci. I hope this fool can understand it sooner. It and the butterfly have no result. Qin He glanced at da Vinci, who was completely in love with him. Don't want to disturb it. Start looking at what da Vinci brought back. A brilliant flower is directly superimposed in the brain warehouse. There is also a stone with a light blue glow, 1 caddies of psychic stone, so this is the Shinic stone. Qin He took out the stone and put it in his hand. Feel a hint of warmth. It seems that the material needed to design the module of his orange one-handed crossbow is psychic ore. Remember, you need 10 kilograms. According to Da Vinci's travel information, this psychic ore was found in a crack in the earth. It seems that I need to go out more often next time to see if I can gain anything. Store the psychic ore in the brain warehouse. He took out the frog baby and brought back a supply box, making a total of 2 including his own. After checking together, they found that the inside was the same as before, with some building materials, some water and food. And a pair of pants. If I remember correctly, that person saw Da Vinci and Xiao Hui and wanted to catch them and eat their meat. Then Da Vinci took the guy's pants. It even scared people so much that they ran away in panic. The pants are a pair of novice combat pants. Qin He stored it in his brain warehouse. Then take out the last item, a thin sponge pad. It can be placed under the bedding on the wooden bed. After the inspection, Qin He walked out of the house and took a look at Xiao Hui, who was digging the hole. There was a lot of new soil pushed out from the cave at the entrance. It seems that Xiao Hui is very good at digging holes. I walked around the platform on the top of the mountain, thinking about how to place these brilliant flowers. After all, they are expected to produce fine fibers. It can be used to make an orange one-handed crossbow, and you can make a fortune with it in the future. But after thinking about it, he thought it would be better to build a decent shelter first. It would not be good to plant them outside now. The main fear is being trampled by the tide of zombies. Ordinary zombies don't matter. Qin He can guarantee one per crossbow, but if it comes to an elite level or above, it would be difficult to guarantee that Huiyehua would not be affected. Qin He returned to the room on the second floor again. After seeing Da Vinci still staring at the butterfly, so he lay down on the bed and planned to rest for a while. Time passes. When Qin He woke up, it was already 17:10 in the afternoon. He sat up and looked at Leonardo da Vinci, and he was still in good spirits. Why does it feel like something is wrong? Your Da Vinci thinks that this butterfly is just a show-off and is stupid. He has been croaking for a long time, but the butterfly has not even responded. He is very sad. Your Da Vinci feels that he has lost his love, and gave his feelings to an emotionless bug. Your Da Vinci feels very cold at this moment and needs comfort. Qin He stood up and got out of bed, holding Da Vinci in his hand. This guy finally got it. What is certain is that from today on, it will no longer have any romantic feelings for insects. Your Da Vinci feels your touch, but still feels a little sad. Qin He took out 3 snake eggs from the brain warehouse. Line up on the ground. Put Da Vinci on the ground. Don't be sad, you like these 3 eggs very much, go play with them first. Qin He did this to distract Da Vinci. I don't know if it will work. Things like heartbreak are really sad for a frog. After all, the first person I fell in love with was a tool butterfly. This is really embarrassing for the frog. Your Da Vinci stared at the 3 white eggs with yellow spots and was tempted to hatch them. Qin He was stunned. You, little frog, are really careless and careless. Chapter 58. Qin He felt that this was not going to work. I am responsible for Leonardo da Vinci's future happy life. Since you are raising it, you must teach it how to ward off frogs. After all, it is a young and strong toad. People have 7 emotions and 6 desires, let alone frogs. It's time to find it a serious love partner. Qin He checked the frog's travel experience and found that there were more than 1,000. I can do 10 consecutive draws now. Doesn't doing 10 consecutive draws generally increase the drop rate? Open the travel frog prize pool. There is no option to do 10 consecutive draws with 1 click. This. Why do I have a bad feeling? Qin He clicked the lottery 10 times. Buzz buzz buzz, the prize pool rotates and the light flashes. Traveling frog strawberry poison dart frog fragment x1, collect 30 fragments to summon traveling frog bullfrog fragment x3, collect 10 fragments to summon traveling frog overlord horned frog fragment x1, collect 40 fragments to summon traveling frog clown frog fragment x1, collect 20 fragments to summon travel frog exclusive food bug x1 box, containing 10,000 delicious bugs traveling frog exclusive weight bearing strengthening card x1, 50 Jin, just rub the card on the top of the traveling frog's head. Traveling frog leaf frog fragment x1, collect 10 fragments to summon traveling frog exclusive pond x1, 3x3 meters pond, can adjust the water quality by itself. For the traveling frog to play, rest and relax. The draw is complete. Qin He looked at all the cards. Then he squatted down and touched Leonardo da Vinci's head. Said, you should play with the eggs first. Da Vinci raised his head, then lowered it again. Qin He felt really sorry for it when he saw how lonely it looked. Although there are a lot of prizes in this lottery, it's a pity that there is nothing that can be summoned. But, I also got a lot of information from this lottery. There are many kinds of frogs in the traveling frog prize pool. The strawberry poison dart frog is poisonous. Adult bullfrogs can eat mice alive. Why does it feel like Xiao Hui's life is going to get harder? There are also frogs that are purely for viewing. The main thing is that you can also extract 10,000 feed insects per box. At least Da Vinci doesn't have to worry about food during this period. The traveling frog's own pond is really great. I'm afraid I won't lie on my face when I sleep next time. Qin He took out the traveling frog weight card. No wonder Da Vinci's normal evolution is just distance and backpack grid. It turns out that weight bearing requires a lottery. Your Da Vinci is thinking about how to hatch these eggs. He thinks these 3 eggs are too big. As a frog, he has never done such a thing before. Da Vinci is racking his brains. Your Da Vinci feels you rub a card against its head, and suddenly, its body warms up and it feels energetic. Da Vinci turned his head and looked at you coldly. This frog is studying things like biological inheritance. Can you please stop making trouble? Go do something that people should do. Your Da Vinci continues to stare at the 3 eggs while you eat the new bugs. Qin He took out the bug that he had just drawn from the brain warehouse. Each of them is fat and round, and their skin is as white as jade. I want to roast it and eat it myself. Your Da Vinci was attracted by the bug in your hand, jumped over and swallowed one. After tasting it, it decided to give up the plan to hatch the snake eggs. It will become smarter if it thinks about things after eating. After eating the bugs, your Da Vinci feels relaxed and decides to take a nap. 3 snake eggs, quietly lined up in a row, sure enough delicious food can relieve worries. Qin He smiled and stood up. I glanced at the butterflies, which were still flying around the sober peony. Isn't this butterfly tired? It has been flying non-stop for quite a while. Although your butterfly spiritual attribute is very low, you don't seem to be very smart. But you can't be so stupid that you don't even know whether you are tired or not, right? Then I thought again, it might be about that peony. Smelling the fragrance of flowers makes you energetic, and if you suck the nectar. Take care, Xiao Mei. Qin He then opened the world chat channel and looked at the time in the upper right corner of the chat window. At 1800 hours in the evening. The Doomsday Game Trading House is open. Qin He took a look around the skill shop first. Now those novice skills have been taken off the shelves, only professional skills are available. Bought 2 for myself and still have the other 2. No new professional skills have been added. Maybe when you change your job to a hunter, you will only have these 4 skills. He looked at the weapons and equipment again, but nothing attracted him. Then I put up for auction the several pieces of equipment I got last night and the novice combat pants that Da Vinci brought back today. The price is reasonable and fair. As soon as it was put on the shelves, someone clicked on the auction. I estimate I can earn about 100 Doomsday Gold coins. Finally, I clicked on the building materials store and saw new things in the first row. They are all home design modules. Round hut design module, an ordinary shelter, priced at 50 Doomsday Gold coins. Square hut design module, same as above. Small 2-story house design module, a slightly better shelter, priced at 100 Doomsday coins. Small garden room design module, a relatively cozy shelter, priced at 300 Doomsday Gold coins. There are 4 home design modules in total. Qin He selected the roundhouse design module and clicked to view it. Roundhouse design module. There are 2 construction methods. Method 1. Buy the design module and collect the following materials: 100 bricks, 50 planks, ropes, you can synthesize them yourself. Method 2. Click the one-click generation button below the design module and spend 200 Doomsday Gold coins to complete it. One-click generation is very user-friendly. Qin He closed the page and continued to scroll down to see the building materials. As expected, the focus of the second chapter is on construction, and even design modules are sold in stores. And if you have money, you can also choose to generate it with one click. But if you want to get the achievement of the second chapter, Warm Home, it is definitely not possible to buy this kind of design that anyone can buy. They are all the same. How can we choose? Tied for first place? So, you still have to build it yourself. Qin He looked up at his house. He gave a very unconfident smile. A bit too rustic indeed. It's time to plan it. After all, there are still 6 nights left until the end of the second chapter. But I haven't figured out how to plan it yet. After looking for a while and finding nothing he needed, he exited the Doomsday Trading House. Qin He opens the World Chat channel. See what people are talking about right now. Is there a place to learn? Brothers, have you noticed that after the second chapter started, I searched for a long time during the day and didn't see many zombies and mutant creatures? Although I don't know why, this is a good thing for an individual like me. Yeah, you can hardly see any during the day. I took a walk outside today and didn't see any. If it weren't for the zombie tide at night, I would now doubt whether the apocalypse is over. Speaking of zombie tides at night, how was your zombie tide yesterday? I don't know if I was too weak. There were only 20 zombies in the zombie tide, and then the fireworks went off, and the zombie tide ended? Should I be thankful? Haha, I only had 5 zombies yesterday, which made me panic for a long time, but I'm lucky because I'm only level 1 now. Then you are so lucky. My friend and I killed 70 zombies yesterday, including 1 elite zombie. Is it because I am a level 6 charger and my friend is a level 7 ghost dancer? See this information. Qin He touched the tip of his nose and began to think. He is now finally relieved that he is still very popular among the zombies. After all, I shot nearly 200 of them last night. There is also a 3-star mutated creature, the Golden Emperor Centipede. Qin He suddenly thought of a question. Does this mean that the higher the level and the stronger the strength, the greater the challenge of the zombie tide you will face? Chapter 59. This is a very serious issue. Li Zongjun stood on a commanding height in the ruins, smoking a pipe, with his hands behind his back and a frown on his face. Yes, based on today's analysis of the information in the World Chat channel, it is very likely that the more people there are, the greater the zombie tide will be, and the same is true for the stronger the individual is. Yu Qiuquan stood by, looking at the injured soldiers around him, with one hand on his chest and the other pinching his nose bridge. Obviously a little melancholy. Have you counted? How many zombies attacked us yesterday? We've counted them. There are a total of 3,140 ordinary zombies and mutants, and 51 elite zombies and mutants. Among them, there are several elites who are very powerful. Most of our casualties and injuries were caused by those elites. What about our injuries? 6 people were killed, 17 were seriously injured, 32 were slightly injured, and 102 people were still fully combat capable. The injured were injured by the weapons of those elites and are not infected with the virus. This is fortunate. Li Zongjun raised his hand, took the pipe and took a puff. His eyes were firm, yet with a hint of worry. He knew in his heart that the losses on the first night were so severe. There are still 6 nights left. How will I spend them? General, everyone below has their own ideas now. Idea. Li Zongjun turned sideways and asked, do they want to disperse? Yes, Yu Qiuquan did not hide it, they are thinking that if the zombie tide comes based on the number of people and strength, then it will be better if we spread out. Li Zongjun took a puff of his pipe and said, let's try to split up and see if it works. Form a group of 3, and each group will take 1 wounded person. Then, let the finance department divide the gold coins equally according to the combat power. People need money when they are away. Yes. Yu Qiuquan nodded and immediately ran to convey the order. Li Zongjun sighed softly. He was thinking, if they were separated like this, would they ever be able to get together again in the future? It all depends on fate. Yulin Wang family. Dispersion. Inside the hall of Wang's manor, most of the old and weak looked at him in disbelief at the same time. Looking at the head of the Wang family. I know this is really difficult, but a lot of people died yesterday and we have to do this now. Wang Mingguo pounded on the table angrily, should we wait until all of our Wang family members are dead? What about us? What about the children? Yes, I just gave birth and I'm still very weak. What should I do with a crying baby? I am already an old lady. If I am still alive, I will be a burden to you. You can all go out and I will stay in this house by myself until I die. I might as well die. Woo-woo. For a moment, the Wang family hall was filled with crying. Alas, if I want to live and revitalize the Wang family, I must make sacrifices. I, an old man, will not linger on and drag down the young people. Wang Mingguo smashed the coffee table with his cane. He shouted loudly, right now, all the young men of the Wang family, take 1 young boy with you and leave here immediately. The rest of the old, weak, sick, and disabled, stay with me in this manor until the end. Woo-woo, my life is so hard, woo-woo. There was no emotion on Wang Yuyeo's face. It is already obvious that the more people there are, the bigger the zombie tide will be. But having more people does not mean there are more fighters. The 4 young men from the family who were killed or injured last night are the best proof of this. Yuyeo. Wang Mingguo looked at her and said, from now on, whether the Wang family can stay together and prosper for generations depends on you. Go. Go now. He himself didn't know why he said that. What will happen in the future after it is dispersed? It is also unknown whether family members will kill each other. Grandpa, I promise you. Wang Yuyeo's expression was firm. Good. Wang Mingguo patted his granddaughter's shoulder heavily. Old man, since we are spreading out, we should also share the money. Otherwise, how can we improve ourselves? Yet. It's impossible to put all your hopes on one woman, right? Are we no longer members of the Wang family? At this time, a group of young and strong men from the Wang family began to speak. Divide. I'll give you divide. Wang Mingguo had thought of this a long time ago. The money must be divided. If not, this family will fall apart. If you divide them well, there may still be hope in the future. Of course, he didn't want Yu to suffer unnecessary harm at this time. After a while, the money was divided. Wang Yu was the first to walk out of the Wang family hall, dragging a 14-year-old boy. Even if the boy cried, he couldn't stop her. Other young and strong men also walked out of the manor one after another. After a while, only Wang Mingguo and a group of the elderly, the weak, women and children were left in the Wang family lobby. The crying has become hoarse. Wang Mingguo was standing at the door. Looking at the young and strong men of the Wang family going away, he raised his head to look at the stars and the moon in the sky. Mouth, may God bless the Wang family. Bless you Yao. At this time, major organizations around the world are dispersing in an orderly manner. Because on the first night most of them were attacked by a powerful tide of zombies. They can only fight in small teams, each occupying an advantageous position and fighting on their own. Of course, fierce internal friction also occurs due to the uneven distribution of physical capital and currency. Some groups did not disperse but instead fortified themselves. They were betting that the same thing wouldn't happen the next night. There were also some organizational guilds where all the members ran away in twos and threes. Especially small groups that have just been formed temporarily. They disbanded on the spot and even fought each other for supplies. The zombies didn't kill them, but they were killed by themselves. A square mountain in J City. The height is about 70 meters. There were more than a dozen zombie corpses lying at the foot of the mountain. The top of the mountain is about the size of a basketball court. Song Hao sat on the ruins and looked around with a telescope. He was very scared last night. Because I haven't reached level 5 yet, I don't have any professional talents or skills. I thought that if the zombie tide came, I might be gone. But what he didn't expect was that there were only a dozen zombies in the zombie tide. There is not even a single mutant creature. Then scatter flowers and the tide of corpses ends. He even suspected that this was a fake corpse tide. But today I found out through the World Channel chat. It seems that the zombie tide will become much weaker against the weak. This made him feel fortunate, but also a little humiliated. In the end of the world, even the zombies look down on me. Doomsday, or I am too weak. At this time, he saw the top of a small mountain far away through the telescope. A small house on the top of a mountain. A man could be vaguely seen repairing the roof with a wooden board. It's him. He's not dead yet. I knew it. How could he die when he's so powerful? Song Hao seemed a little excited. The man seen through the telescope. This was the man who was seen fighting an axe zombie on the roof of his house. Originally, Song Hao was thinking that after the first chapter was over, he would go find that person and team up to kill zombies. Unexpectedly, an earthquake disrupted all plans. But now, I can't go looking for you. Then I might be a hindrance. I don't know whether you are a good person or a bad person. Song Hao continued to hold the telescope. It looked like the man was looking in his direction. It won't be discovered, right? It shouldn't be this far. Qin He clapped his hands and finally repaired the roof. I don't have to be afraid of the rain this time. But when he stood up, he felt something was wrong. It was as if a pair of eyes were staring at me. He looked around. There was nothing unusual found within the range of vision. At this time, he looked at a square mountain far away. I just felt like something was wrong there. Is it a peeping Tom? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Qin He stared for a while, then looked up at the sky. Whoosh, a red light appeared. With a loud bang, fireworks scattered everywhere. Still a beautiful firework. Is this the second night of zombie tide about to begin? But the trading line hasn't been closed yet? Boom. The fireworks exploded for the second time, and a few large words appeared, testing the brightness of fireworks. Grass. Grass. Qin He is a person in the World Chat channel. At the same time, I send you my warmest regards. Chapter 60. Qin He sat on the repaired roof. Continue to check the World Chat channel. The information he just saw confirmed his guess. That is, the zombie tide varies from person to person. The larger the group, the stronger the zombie attack. The stronger the individual, the more special treatment the zombies will give them. From this point of view, the rules of the Doomsday game are meant to keep things fair. I killed hundreds of zombies and an elite mutant creature yesterday. This is easily seen when compared to a horde of only 5 zombies on the same night. Of course, there is another piece of information that is more important. There are very few zombies during the day. To be honest, Qin He is quite grateful for this. After all, he can be lazy sometimes. I won't be like those leveling maniacs who focus solely on killing monsters. There are no zombies during the day, so it is difficult for those people to kill them. My level shouldn't be surpassed so quickly. Now the only way to quickly increase experience is to complete hidden tasks. At this time, the World Chat channel began to discuss other topics. I hope the zombies tonight will drop some equipment or something. All the zombies dropped last night were wooden boards and iron sheets. I'm so drunk. Luckily you only exploded construction materials. I exploded 10 pots of cacti here. They were just ordinary cacti. The only consolation for me is that cacti can be used as secret weapons. Haha, 2 barley plants dropped directly on me. This may indicate that I will be a grain merchant in the future. However, I was very lucky yesterday. I got a dagger, which is just right for my profession as a stealth. By the way, do you have shampoo? Please sell it to me at a lower price. The one in the Doomsday store is too expensive. Do you need laundry detergent? I use laundry detergent when I take a shower now. Yay, hooky. Today is the second night of the zombie tide. Why don't you seem nervous? Aren't you afraid of death? Haha, we are already in this era. If God really wants you to die, you have to die no matter you are afraid or not. Brothers and sisters, drink this chicken soup, and you will be as happy as me. Anyway, I'm a weakling. There was only one zombie in the zombie tide last night. Why should I be afraid? Are you really that weak? You're not even at level 1. Qin He looked at the World Chat channel. Like himself, most of the things that dropped by everyone when they killed zombies were materials. The equipment drop rate is indeed much lower. This should be the rule of the second chapter. At this time, the World Chat channel became lively again. Oh my god, go check out the auction area of the trading house. All the major organizations are selling their junk. Really? Are they crazy? Why are they swiping money at this time? Who knows? Don't guess. I'll tell you. Our guild was temporarily disbanded, so we had to sell our garbage and let the money manager come to buy it for points. We almost got into a fight because of this. Who the hell doesn't want to get more? I worked hard too. In the end, I only got 50 gold coins. FK. So that's how it is. Why did you guys disband so suddenly? Is there even a need to ask? Yesterday, on the first day of the zombie tide, many of us died. You individual players can't imagine the zombie tide of our guild. It would scare you to death. Qin He looked at the World Chat window. This division is too fast. However, this may be a way out. Disperse first, and then reunite after the 7 days and nights of zombie tide have passed. Of course, whether or not we can get together depends on the people. At this time, he felt hungry. Anyway, the trading house has not been closed yet. The zombie tide will have to wait a little longer. He took out a stainless steel cooking pot from the brain warehouse. Make a fire and boil water, prepare to eat the frozen dumplings tonight. Eating only bread and instant noodles these days is indeed a bit unhealthy. When he took out the frozen dumplings, he found that the dumplings were frozen when they were placed in the brain warehouse. It's still frozen now. That is to say, the state in which you take out money is the same as when you earn it. It won't expire or rot or anything. That's great, you can store food with peace of mind. In your own brain warehouse, similar items can be stacked, which is great. By the time he finished cooking the dumplings, the Doomsday Trading House was closed. All channel broadcast, congratulations to the survivor Qin He for becoming the new #1 on the wealth list and winning the title of Money Makes Money. All channel broadcast, congratulations to the survivor Qin He for becoming the new #1 on the wealth list and winning the title of Money Makes Money. All channel broadcast, congratulations to the survivor Qin He for becoming the new #1 on the wealth list and winning the title of Money Makes Money. This. Qin He picked up the dumpling and put it in his mouth. Don't mention it, these dumplings are so delicious. The main thing is that the title of Money Makes Money came very suddenly. It's just, very unexpected. I originally thought that I would work hard to make money and then win first place. I didn't expect that I would get first place without doing anything. Oh my god, how can I seek justice here? Happy. After a moment, Qin He rubbed his stomach. Today's dumplings are really delicious. He clicked on the wealth list and took a look. I discovered that my wealth status was far ahead. Doomsday Wealth List 1. Qin He. 3013 Doomsday Gold Coin 2. Shura's True Body. 2341 Doomsday Gold Coins 3. Jack AAA Loris. 2301 Doomsday Gold Coins 4. Special Warfare Zone 2 Renran. 1999 Doomsday Gold Coins 5. Yamahi Group. Yamata no Orakai. 1833 6. Kodrodsky, Siberia. 1807. Shura 9527.16328. Aryan Brotherhood. BFB. Odin. 1609. Special Warfare Zone 2 Dragon. 1510. I really can't make it up anymore. 1499. Qin He looked at the wealth list. This title of Money Makes Money really suits me. As expected, people from the same family tend to stick together. Now that you're here, don't leave. At this time, the world chat channel became lively again. What did I say? Master Qin He is definitely the richest man. He got the best time. If those guilds hadn't split up, he wouldn't have been number 1. Master Qin He, don't be offended by what I say. This is luck. Others have good luck, but you don't. It's that simple. Congratulations to Mr. Qin He for topping both charts. All channel broadcast. Congratulations to Survivor Qin He for becoming the first on both lists and receiving the special title, Double Happiness. Wo Cao got another special title. This is too powerful. What is the function of this special title? Only Master Qin He knows this. Is Master Qin He here? Can you tell me? Qin He clicked on the title to view it. Double Happiness, first place in both level and wealth list, kill zombies, mutated, creatures, experience +1, gold +1 for each kill. So strong. As steady as Qin He is also a little excited. If I am not lazy, I will get the title of Double Happiness by being the first on both lists. I'm afraid I'll live in my own home forever. At this moment, he felt that he was destined to be awarded all the titles. All channel broadcast, congratulations to the survivor Qin He for winning the first place on both lists. As a congratulations, all independent players and lone rangers around the world will receive fake double happiness buff. Physical strength recovery lasts for 6 hours and strength and agility are doubled for 6 hours. Qin He looked at the buff bonus of fake double happiness. Is it true or false? The world chat channel fell silent for a moment. Then there was a burst of cheers. What did I say? Master Qin He is the lucky star for all the people. Thanks to the great Qin He, I will be safe tonight. I'm not afraid of anything. I cried. For a while, golden beams of light fell from the sky, falling all over the world. Qin He was standing on the roof and was also hit by the golden light. I suddenly felt excited. It turns out that this kind of joy is shared equally. Whoosh, a red light appeared in the sky. Then it exploded. The fireworks spread out, forming a few large characters. Zombie tide is coming, boom. The fireworks burst out again, revealing several large characters. This is not a test. P.S. I put the pictures of the frog babies that appeared in the lucky draw in the chapter review. You can enjoy them like whichever ones you like. Chapter 61. As the fireworks faded, the roars of zombies and mutated creatures could be heard once again at night. However, this time the roar was very scattered. Qin He thought that it might be because everyone had separated. Ho-ho, a zombie climbed up the eastern hillside. Clear. Qin He sat on the roof and pulled the trigger of the powerful crossbow. The zombie fell to the ground in response. Ding, kill a level 6 zombie, gain experience +6 +0.3 +1, gain gold 6 +1. Then 3 zombies appeared at the same time. He roared and ran towards the house. Hey? Qin He felt something was wrong. Didn't they come up one by one yesterday? How come we can climb up together today? Are these zombies cheating? Clear. Clear. Crossbow arrows fired. Triggers the hunter's passive professional skill scatter. The main arrow hit the target, and the sub-arrows scattered and shot in vain. Qin He finally understood that this kind of scattering is only suitable for relatively close distances. Moreover, the zombies on the opposite side must be in groups to exert their power. This is very embarrassing. 2 of the zombies that rushed up were shot down, and the other one crashed into the metal spike roadblock. His body was pierced by spikes and fixed to the roadblock, roaring dryly. Qin He activates the eagle eye talent. Stare and check the zombie's attributes. Ordinary zombies LV6 constitution, 15 strength, 15 agility, 15 spirit, 1 exclusive skills, throwing down, biting, scratching, and roaring in one all level 6. Qin He remembered that the zombies last night were all level 5. On the second night, everyone was at level 6. That's good. Lots of experience. At this time, 3 more zombies rushed to the top of the mountain from the east at the same time. Qin He stood up and jumped off the roof. He holds a shield in his left hand and a tempered spear in his right hand. Charge forward and use sweep away. The 3 zombies' heads flew off at the same time. Ding triggers Da Vinci's unexpected surprise. 3 white beams of light stood up on the zombie's body. Good guy Qin He put the exploded cards into the brain warehouse and immediately came to the edge of the eastern mountain top. Want to see what's going on? These zombies can actually come up in a group. That's so disrespectful. I see. Qin He looked down. No wonder these zombies can climb up in a group. It turned out that they all came out of the hole that the Golden Emperor centipede drilled on the eastern slope last night. Could it be that underneath this square mountain? A zombie nest? Suddenly, he had a bold idea. Ideas are ideas. Qin He still sat obediently on the top of the mountain, guarding the cave exit from a high place. One of them crawled out and stabbed another with a tempered spear. It's like playing whack-a-mole. He doesn't know what's going on. The thrill of doomsday has turned into a leisurely life for him. When he was free, he looked in other directions, but no zombies appeared. By the way, I checked the cards that popped out, they were either wooden boards or iron sheets. He also saw Xiaohui lying at the entrance of the cave looking at him. A pair of small, dark eyes were wide open. After making eye contact with Qin He, he immediately turned around and went into the cave. Am I that scary? Qin He, who shot the zombie's head off, couldn't understand why Xiaohui was afraid of him. After all, I am so kind. Phew. Qin He pierced another zombie's head, and black and red pulp scattered everywhere. He made a rough estimate. Almost 30 zombies have been killed. According to the zombie tide, you have your own standards. There should be nearly 200 more that have not appeared. However, no more zombies crawled out of this cave. Waited a few more minutes. Still no zombies came out. And no zombies crawled up from the other 3 directions. Could it be that the zombies don't like me again? Holding such doubts, Qin He opens the world chat channel. Whatever the case, take a look at what everyone is doing. Hey, with Qin He's Tongzi buff, I easily passed the zombie tide corresponding to me. The fireworks just exploded, and the zombie tide ended. How dare you say that? Your zombie troll only has 1 zombie, but I have 5. I've cleared them out here, a total of 15. I'm going to start building my shelter now. Everyone should be cautious. After all, the doomsday game doesn't follow the rules. Maybe they're just paralyzing us now. I suggest that everyone should not let their guard down. Yes, the brother above is right. I have reinforced the outer wall and added iron sheets. It is still very effective in blocking ordinary zombies. Qin He closes the world chat channel. Still no zombies came out of the cave below. Am I really being despised? With this mentality, Qin He packed his equipment and jumped down the hillside. Landed in front of the cave entrance. Shit. As steady as he was stunned by the scene before him. Densely packed zombies crowded in the cave. Hey guys, you're all here. Both sides looked at each other. Qin He's scalp tingled. The zombies, all wearing grey glasses, stared at the people in front of them. That expression is like saying, has it been discovered yet? The scene fell silent. Silence. At this moment, a stone on the upper edge of the cave entrance loosened and fell to the ground. Snap. Roar. The zombie swarm suddenly became excited and charged forward. Qin He stood at the entrance of the cave, holding his gun sweeping the enemy. The zombies in the front row had their heads chopped off. Then he took out the crossbow and pulled the trigger. Clear. Trigger scatter. Triggers knock back. Boom. There are many zombies in the cave. The scattered attacks hit all the zombies, and with the knockback effect, the 3 zombies crashed backwards. A zombie that was not hit by the arrow rushed forward, and Qin He hit it with his shield, knocking it to the ground. He switched from a crossbow to a gun and pierced the head of the zombie that was following closely behind. Draw your gun. Sweep forward. 2 more zombies' heads flew off. The zombies in the third row were knocked back and fell to the ground, and they haven't gotten up yet. Qin He loaded the crossbow and immediately took a step back. Take out a metal spike roadblock module from the supply box collected today. Place it directly at the hole in front of you. Stand between yourself and the zombies. The zombies charged, crashing into the metal spiked barricade. Qin He held a spear across the roadblock and shot them one by one. Puff! Puff! They are all level 6 zombies, and experience and gold coins are increasing rapidly. Ding level increased to level 15, all attributes +1, free points +1. Qin He poked with the gun while paying attention to the durability of the spear. Now only 10/100 is left. A few more pokes and it will explode. Immediately take out the primary durable repair volume from the brain warehouse. Repair the spear. Keep poking. At this time, the zombies in the back row stepped on the zombies in the front row who were stuck on the roadblock and climbed over. Qin He immediately turned around and ran, climbed to the top of the mountain and stood on a high place. The zombies that climbed out later also climbed up. They were all stabbed by the ruthless spears and rolled down the hillside. At this moment, a firework exploded. A few big words are displayed, elites are coming. Then, a zombie holding a hammer emerged from the cave. He wore a steel helmet, was shirtless, wore grey overalls, and had high leather boots on his feet. Roar at the people on the mountain. Then he jumped up from the ground, raising the hammer in the air above his head. Falling down. Qin He did not retreat but advanced, swung his shield and knocked the falling zombie with the hammer away. The hammer zombie lost his balance and fell on the hillside, and rolled to the foot of the mountain. Qin He likes this kind of attack by jumping into the air the most. With the body in the air, there is no time to adjust for effective defense. Qin He activates the Eagle Eye talent. Stare and check its properties. Iron Hammer Ikyong 4-star Elite Zombie Constitution 80 Strength 140 Agility 130 Spirit 4-5 Exclusive Skill, Heart of the Lord. As the saying goes, a zombie who doesn't want to be a lord is not a good zombie. After Uchiha goes crazy, his body will increase 3 times, including his clothes and weapons, and his 4-dimensional attributes will increase 3 times. The duration is 3 minutes, and the cooling time is 3 minutes. Exclusive Skill, Crazy Hammer. Swing the hammer, very selfless, attack distance 5 meters, attack range unknown, duration 30 seconds, cooldown time 1 minute. Chapter 62. Mad Hammer. Qin He glanced at Hammer Ikyong who had not yet climbed up from the foot of the mountain. After using the skill, it kills me. Is he hitting himself? The main thing is that this thing's basic attributes are very strong. There is another skill called Lord's Heart, and it triples the thinking attribute. This is a bit fierce. Definitely a great lord level attribute. Qin He activates Eagle Eye. Squint to check the hammer's strengths and weaknesses. Strengths and weaknesses of the hammer, knock off its helmet first, see this weakness explanation. Qin He speaks eloquently. Roar. At this time, Chui Qiang suddenly stood up, holding the hammer in both hands and sprinted up the mountain. I have to say, with an agility of 130, it runs really fast. Qin He was holding a powerful crossbow. Aim for hammer strength. When he rushed to the halfway point of the mountain. Activate charge arrow. 3. The distance between the two is nearly 30 meters. 2 20 meters. 1 10 meters clear. The trigger is pulled. An arrow surrounded by light blue light shot out rapidly. The hammer was hit right in the abdomen. The latter stood still in response. Qin He collected his shield, hung his crossbow, and rushed down the mountaintop. 10 meters distance. Under the fake double happiness buff, strength and agility are doubled. His agility has reached over 170. Only the starting acceleration is counted. It will arrive in a flash. Rushing to the front, Qin He grabbed the violent axe. With the blessing of his strength and agility, he chopped Hammer Qiang on the head with an axe. Heavy force and power. Bang! The axe blade was so sharp that it directly split the helmet, leaving a gap. Qin He put away his axe and raised it high again. It went down and landed on the gap in the helmet. Bang! The front half of the helmet was completely split open. The axe blade also cut a deep gap in Hammer Qiang's scalp, leaving a visible bone. Roar! At this time, the hammer's immobilization effect disappeared and he roared in anger. Boom! In just a moment, Chui Qiang's body suddenly grew to more than 5 meters, and his armor also increased in size. The eyes that were emitting green light just now turned into blue light. This is the heart of the Lord. Temporarily raised it to a higher level. And Qin He stepped back immediately. I felt that I might have been a bit reckless just now. This guy shouldn't be angered. Call. The hammer is lifted and swung from bottom to top. Qin He raised his shield to block. Bang. There was a loud bang. The man flew backwards and landed directly on the platform at the top of the mountain. Shield durability -8. I feel so bad. Qin He watched as a dent appeared on the shield. My heart trembled. Doesn't it cost money to repair the scroll? Roar. In an instant, Uchiha jumped up from the top of the mountain. This time, it obviously jumped a little lower. After all, there are precedents. Heart of the Lord. Qin He continued to retreat. After all, he has now used his ultimate move. Why bother confronting others head-on? But then again, Hammer Chiang's spirit was originally 45, and after tripling it was directly 135. I feel like this guy's IQ has improved. No wonder he didn't jump that high. Call. Qin He barely dodged the hammer. The hammer's attributes are tripled, and its speed and strength increase linearly. Before he could raise his gun to stab back, another hammer swept across the waist. Qin He kicked the ground and rolled backwards. Luckily he had avoided being hit in the waist. Then he began to run around the top platform. Hammer's Lord's heart only lasts for 3 minutes. As long as you can survive these 3 minutes, it will be your turn to kill back. The hammer struck again. Qin He dodged to the right. The hammer brushed past his shoulder and hit the ground heavily. Underground. Xiao Hui is enjoying the delicious food he collected today in his new home. A small piece of moldy bread and a small piece of smelly rotten meat. What excited it most was that there was also a small packet of ketchup. It puts all of these in front of it, ready to start a delicious dinner. Boom. There was a loud bang, followed by a vibration. The top of the cave was a stone, and the sand on it fell onto its exquisite dinner. Xiao Hui rolled his eyes. Dinner is dirty. On the ground. Qin He put away his shield and hung up his crossbow, then ran wildly around the top of the mountain with empty hands. Anyway, I have the fake double happiness buff on me, and my physical strength recovery lasts for 6 hours. In other words, your physical strength will be full for 6 hours. How long has Hammer Strong's Lord's heart lasted? 3 minutes. It's drizzling. Call. Qin He jumped forward and to the left. Dodge the hammer that sweeps diagonally from top to bottom. Boom. The giant hammer smashed a large rock and shoveled up a layer of soil at the same time. A small pit appeared. In a small pit, a mouse stared at the ketchup that was completely buried in the dirt. Stunned. A pair of small eyes that look hopeless. I found this after searching through 10 trash cans. Rats are easy to bully, right? You're bullying the weak, right? You guys are bullying the rats that even zombies have killed? Little Gray squeaked. I'm going to go out and see who is so ignorant. Ground. Qin He continued to run, counting down the time silently in his heart. It's almost there, just a few tens of seconds left, and the effect of Hammer Chiang's heart of the Lord will end. Keep running in circles. He dodged a hammer to the left and another to the right. He turned around and shot an arrow in the gap. He turned around and was about to continue running. A mouse popped out of the ground. His eyes were full of ferocity. Looks like he's about to fight. Little Gray. Qin He originally planned to settle down at the location where Xiao Hui appeared. When I saw it pop up, I quickly changed direction. And this moment of pause. The huge hammer was already sweeping towards his waist. Qin He could only raise his shield to block. Bang! The hammer hit the shield with great force. Like a bike crash. Qin He moved sideways. Shield durability -12. Xiao Hui, who had just climbed out of the pit, saw this scene. Immediately hide in the pit again. As a rat, I'd better not watch the excitement of humans and zombies. It's just that the ketchup was stained. It's still possible to eat it. At worst, I can just search through 10 more trash cans. Think about it this way. Xiao Hui's anger subsided. Ground. Qin He hesitated for a moment because he was afraid of stepping on Xiao Hui. Chui Qiang seized the opportunity and hit him sideways with a hammer. Then he was hammered and attacked mercilessly at close range. And the hammer has activated the crazy hammer. Whoosh whoosh, the hammer fell down like crazy. Qin He immediately starts flirtatious movement. Hold the berserk axe and maximize the agility attribute to dodge left and right. To be honest, it's a bit embarrassing. Your Da Vinci woke up and saw that you were not in the room. It thought you might have gone out again, so it decided to go downstairs and call you home for dinner. Da Vinci felt a roar coming from outside, as if something was pounding the ground, shaking the second floor. Your Da Vinci thought you were being reckless again, so he jumped downstairs and saw you fighting with a huge hammer zombie as soon as he walked out the door. Your Da Vinci feels that the situation between you and the zombies is very similar to a game you used to play on your computer, Whack-A-Mole, except that you are the mole now, and the hammer zombie is the you from before. Da Vinci has an epiphany, so this is retribution. Qin He. No time to respond. Concentrate on avoiding Hammer Qiang's attacks. The durability of the shield is decreasing. It will return to 0 soon. Your Da Vinci came over and glanced at the little grey one who was eating dirt, and cast a look of contempt at him. Others eat meat but you eat dirt. You have brought shame to the mouse. After your Da Vinci looked down on you, he jumped forward and saw that you looked very miserable. He felt pity for you. Chapter 63. Qin He felt uncomfortable immediately. Did Leonardo da Vinci feel compassion for himself? Don't you know that your compassion is crooked? Frog boy, stop making trouble and go build your relationship with Xiaomei first. Or go hatch those 3 snake eggs. At worst, you'll have to eat dirt with your brother Xiaohui. Call. Just a moment of distraction. Hammer Qiang's hammer was already coming down from above. The speed is so fast that it is difficult to avoid. Qin He raised his shield to meet him. This time, the shield must have exploded. Phew, the moment of raising the shield. Qin He felt a gust of wind hitting his face. The shield is still there. When looking forward, Hammer was holding the air with both hands and waving his arms wildly. That's right, it's air. Whoosh whoosh, the dancing wind blew up the dust all around. Qin He dropped his shield and glanced at Da Vinci next to him. Your Da Vinci receives the hammer power hammer, triggering the stripping assistant, and receives it successfully. Hearing this voice, Qin He felt relieved. I have to sigh. For the first time, the frog boy's compassion was genuine. Not crooked. Your father Qin, was really scared just now. Then Chui Qiang's helmet, pants, and shoes were gone one after another. No pants at all. A hammer strong, turned into a bald strong. Then, Qin He felt the message from Da Vinci. Your Da Vinci triggered the strip assistant twice. Your Da Vinci looks at you and says that it can only help you up to this point, and the rest is up to you. Your Da Vinci jumped into the dirt pit and began to teach Xiaohui that it is wrong to eat dirt. Qin He gave Da Vinci a thumbs up. Go play somewhere else, I'll take care of this. Right now. Chui Qiang was still dancing his arms wildly without any zombie-like feeling, and didn't feel anything unusual. Sure enough, after the skill Mad Hammer was cast. It's really selfless. Whoosh whoosh, the wind picked up and the sand continued to fly. Qin He couldn't bear to disturb Hammer Qiang's mental state. Stand aside and watch it perform. 12 seconds later. Hammer Qiang finally stopped. Its eyes changed from blue to green. The body feels like a deflated balloon. Deflated. Return to the original elite monster status. After returning to normal size, he was still half a head shorter than Qin He. It was at this moment that it finally realized something was wrong. Click, click, click. Qin He placed his hands on his chest and looked at Guangqiang while cracking his knuckles. Now, it's my turn, dear. Roar. Hammer Qiang roared, baring his teeth and revealing his fangs. The black and red dirty mouth emitted a foul odor. He raised 2 arms covered with rotten flesh and exposed bones, and extended his claws with sharp nails. Rushing towards the person in front of you. Qin He rushed forward at the same time. He used his shield as a fist and knocked over the charging hammer. He took out the tempered spear and stabbed Chui Qiang in the head. Ding, kill a 4-star elite zombie, gain experience 200 plus 10 plus 1, and gain doomsday coins plus 200 plus 1. Ding, triggering Da Vinci's surprise, the explosion rate increases by 300%. Buzz, 4 beams of light stood up on Hammer Qiang's body. 2 grey, 1 white, and 1 blue. Qin He stepped forward to collect the card. He looked at Hammer Qiang lying on the ground. Then store it in the brain warehouse. Of course, it's not because of any special hobby. Qin He thought that he would definitely switch to a puppeteer as his secondary occupation in the future. However, he didn't know how the puppeteer refined it. It's probably a corpse or something. So if there is a corpse you like, just take it. After all, the two skills of hammer strength are still very powerful. I just don't know if these two skills will be retained after being refined into a puppet. Best to keep. It's okay if you don't keep it, just keep it anyway. As for the half-dead female zombie in the brain warehouse, Qin He has never been solved. The reason is simple. It will be used for practice when changing to the secondary profession of puppeteer. That's how frugal the household is. Whoosh! Fireworks exploded in the air. The zombie tide is over. Qin He breathed a sigh of relief. As far as today's battle was concerned, there was a lot of luck involved. The second night of zombie tide given by the Doomsday game already has this kind of elite. What about the third night? Thinking about it this way, Qin He felt that he should be more diligent. I want to be a monster-killing maniac. As he thought about it, he took out the repair scroll and repaired the shield. After the repair was completed, it was discovered that the repair scroll was no longer in stock. Looks like I'll have to buy a few at the trading house tomorrow. After organizing the equipment, he squatted beside the pit in the ground. Looked at the two little guys inside. Your Da Vinci is educating Xiao Hui that no matter how poor you are not allowed to eat dirt. You have plenty of bugs, so you can eat as much as you want. After your Da Vinci has taught Xiao Hui a lesson, he looks at you seriously. Yes, Qin He took out a box of feed worms from the brain warehouse. More than 20 fat white ones were caught from inside and thrown between Da Vinci and Xiao Hui. Then returned to the second floor. At this moment, the butterfly Xiaomei is still flying around the sober peony. It's already been half the day. Can this butterfly's body withstand it? It is really strong. Qin He doesn't need to smell the flowers today. After all, there is a continuous recovery buff. Save as much as you can. Then lie on your back on the bed. Start monitoring today's delivery. There are 4 cards, 2 grey ones are made of iron sheets, and 1 white one is made of metal sheet. The blue card made his eyes light up. Small wooden arrow tower damage, 100 fire rate, round/5 seconds range, 100 meters accuracy, not too disappointing specifications, area 2 square meters, height 2 meters. Features: automatically attacks zombies, mutated creatures, unlimited arrows, automatic reload, works continuously for 24 hours, consumes 1 Jin of psychic stone. What a good thing. Qin He was a little happy. This arrow tower can obviously be used when the number of zombies increases. It should be pretty good. Then, he began to check Frog and stripped off Chuiqiang's pants. The first was a steel helmet that he had split open with his axe, severely damaged helmet. Attributes can be seen only after repair. The second piece is pants, exclusive, hammer strong pants, durability 2 halves, constitution +10, strength +10, agility +10, spirit +1. Exclusive attribute: after wearing, all attributes increase by 3%. Source: 4-star elite zombie Hammer Qiang. Hammer Qiang's original name was Li Qiang. He was a bricklayer before his death. He killed his co-worker with a hammer out of jealousy. He hid his identity and escaped capture, and continued to move bricks with a hammer. You can keep these pants for yourself. Qin He looked at the properties and put on the new pants directly. Old pants can be sold directly for money. And a pair of shoes, exclusive, hammer strong shoes, durability 2 halves, constitution +10, strength +5. Exclusive attribute: when walking on muddy roads, you don't have to worry about mud getting into your shoes. Look at the attributes on the shoes. Qin He simply remained speechless. Sell this thing for money. It's useless. As for Hammer Qiang's pants, they did not trigger Da Vinci's assistant. So it's just a pair of pants with holes in it. It was thrown away by Qin He, who was disgusted by it. The most exciting thing is the hammer of Hammer Qiang, exclusive, hammer strong killing hammer, durability 100/100, constitution +8, strength +8, agility +8, spirit +1. Exclusive attribute: this hammer has been with Chuiqiang for many years and is stained with the blood and resentment of several people. It can be used to kill undead creatures. Kill undead creatures. Qin He was a little shocked when he saw this attribute. It seems that there are no undead in the Doomsday. However, this property is unique, so I'd better keep it for now. After checking today's harvest, the frog baby hasn't come back yet. Qin He stood up and stood at the window, watching the two little guys licking and sniffing each other around the bug. Your Da Vinci teaches Xiao Hui not to be picky about food. Even though these bugs are squirming, just close your eyes and eat them. Your Da Vinci earnestly advised Xiao Hui, Have you never heard of the original flavor? Only by eating the living insects can you ensure the purest and most original fragrance. Your Da Vinci looks at Xiao Hui. Xiao Hui explains that he is not an ordinary mouse, so he doesn't want to eat this. Your Da Vinci raises his claws, and Xiao Hui tries to bite a fat white worm, biting, juice splashes, chewing, squeak so delicious. Chapter 64. Qin He is very distressed now. Because of money. I already have an idea of what kind of shelter to build. But I took a look at the doomsday coin. If I really start working on it, I still feel it's not enough. He was thinking, how can he get things done without spending any money and still make money? The main thing is that I don't feel sleepy tonight. Because of the fake double happiness buff. Ding Qin He got inspiration. The zombie tide here is over. It may not end there. Can you make money by helping others? Ideas come quickly, and action follows quickly. A few minutes later, Qin He finished tidying up and jumped down the second floor and ran down the mountain. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui in the pit looked at the disappearing figure and looked at each other. Your Da Vinci patted Xiao Hui's head again and said, "Don't worry about the guy who went out to hang out in the middle of the night. Hurry up and eat all these bugs. Look how thin you are. You're not even enough for my old Qin to fill his teeth." Xiao Hui was stunned. Your Da Vinci sticks out his tongue, rolls up a worm and swallows it. He is thinking, why did you run out in the middle of the night when you usually sleep at this time? Are you going on a secret date? Your Da Vinci thinks it's impossible. He thinks you have always had the desire but not the courage. Da Vinci glared at Little Grey. The adults think about things, and the little mouse eats the bugs quickly. Qin He ran down the mountain and headed east. I don't have any special ideas. I just walked to the east during the day and was familiar with the route, so I wouldn't get lost at night. After passing a ruin, I first looked around. Then listened carefully. A hoarse sound was heard in the distance. Sure enough, there are zombies. Then he ran towards the source of the sound. Inside a bus. Wang Meng stood at the door of the car, holding a wooden shield to block the zombies and a knife in his other hand. Phew! Chop off the head of the zombie in front of him. Looking up, he saw a few more zombies running towards him. Hee, if I kill you all, I can level up and change my job. I'm going to be a barrier breaker. Phew! Another knife fell, and the zombie that rushed forward was chopped to the ground. Another 3 experience points were credited to my account. Wow, this time I got 4 gold coins. That's awesome. I really want to thank Mr. Qin He for his buff, which saved me from being so embarrassed today. Wang Meng's face was filled with excitement. Then he stood up, pointed at the zombies not far away and shouted, "Come here, call out." Phew! The zombie that just rushed towards him suddenly had its head tilted and flew out sideways. Wang Meng was stunned. Could it be that he was scared away by his own roar? Impossible. Why is the experience only 1.5? And the gold coin is only 1, whoosh. There were 2 more sounds breaking through the air. The zombies that hadn't reached him fell directly to the ground. There were 2 crossbow arrows stuck in each of their heads. Whoa, grass! Wang Meng was so shocked that he looked around but didn't see anyone. Just when he was shocked, a man dressed in black, holding a powerful crossbow and wearing sunglasses late at night, walked past him and left a message, "You're welcome, this is what I should do, come on live, well you can keep the things that exploded on the ground, you're welcome." As soon as he finished speaking, the man disappeared into the night. Wang Meng was confused. "I don't thank you at all. You stole my experience, don't you know that? You've delayed my job change. Although it's very uncomfortable. But looking at the beam of light bursting out from the ground, I felt much better." But Wang Meng was still very confused. In the end of the world, can someone come out to do good things? Whoosh! Fireworks exploded in the sky overhead. Wang Meng looked up and saw, the zombie tide is over. It seems that I will have to put off my job change until tomorrow again. I hope that guy won't come to do good things tomorrow. Ruins. The foot of a square mountain about 50 meters high. A wave of dozens of zombies roared and accelerated up the mountain. On the top of the mountain, 2 women and 1 man were holding weapons and fighting zombies one after another. According to yesterday's standards, there are only 50 more zombies left before the tide ends. Let's all be careful. The man's name was Sun Do, and he held a single sword in each hand. He has changed his job to a brawler. The 2 swords were wielded tightly. The women standing on either side of him, each holding a homemade spear, assisted him in defense. Why didn't Qin He's Tongzi buff fall on us? We are not a guild either. Even though we're not a guild, we're 3 people and we can't get it. The ones who can get it are all alone. Those scattered people are so happy it's okay. I'm here to make sure you two are okay. Sun Do chopped down a zombie with his knife and kicked the second one off the top of the mountain. He looked at the zombies at the foot of the mountain and said, as long as no elite zombies appear, I guarantee that we can spend the remaining days safely. Besides, after killing these zombies tonight, you should be able to change your job. Well, I will change my job to a gymnast by then, and I can provide additional support for our team. Then I'll change my job to ghost dancer. I studied dancing myself. Okay. If the 3 of us work together well, we will definitely be able to survive the apocalypse. The apocalypse will always end one day. Before the zombies at the bottom of the mountain climbed up, Sun Do turned to the 2 women and said, by then, we can have many children. You are so bad it's embarrassing to say this. He Sun Do was proud, if it was before the end of the world. As a poor man at the bottom of society, let alone getting married. Even finding a girlfriend is a luxury. And now after the apocalypse, he can marry too. The joy of life is nothing more than this. Brother Do, look. What is that? Both women pointed down the mountain at the same time. Sun Do was still immersed in the joy of having a wife, and looked towards the foot of the mountain in the direction he pointed. Although there is a bright moon in the sky, you can only get a rough idea of what is happening from a distance of 50 meters. Only one person was seen rushing into the zombie group at the foot of the mountain. He rushed forward recklessly, and with just a few jumps, he had killed half of the zombies. Then, the man used his shield as a wall and swept his spear forward. Another row of zombies fell to the ground. The 3 people on the mountain were stunned. This is amazing. Can one person be this powerful? The 2 women stared at the people down the mountain in surprise. At this moment, Sun Do felt a little uneasy. What if such a powerful man comes and snatches away my 2 wives? I've upgraded me too, I'm level 5 now, I can switch jobs and choose career skills thanks. The 2 women shouted down the mountain. You're welcome. I came out today specifically to do good deeds. The man at the foot of the mountain waved his hand and continued picking up cards on the ground. Sun Do felt uncomfortable on the mountain. Come out specifically to do good things? You are here just to gain experience. Hey, friend. I appreciate your kindness, but we are not going to be unable to overcome this hurdle. Sun Do shouted down the mountain and continued, don't get involved with the rest, we can handle it ourselves really? I don't ask for anything in return when I do good things. The people at the foot of the mountain collected the cards on the ground. Look up at the mountain. No, you should go help those who need help. I don't need to bother you here. Whoosh! At this moment, a firework exploded in the sky above the mountain top. Elites are coming. Elite? The 3 people on the top of the mountain exclaimed at the same time. The man down the mountain said, then be careful, I'm leaving. Chapter 65. Sun Do and the other 2 watched the dark figure of the man disappear into the night at the foot of the mountain. Really gone? Boom. The mountain shook. Immediately afterwards, a rock exploded on the slope. In the flying gravel and soil, a golden centipede with 100 legs crawled out from it. It meandered to the top of the mountain and stood half of its body upright. Roar! The huge mouth parts opened horizontally, revealing the densely packed fangs inside. Elite mutant creature. What should I do? This is so scary. Hurry up and change your job to ghost dancer and holy chanter. Sun Do shouted. At this time, his 2 swords had been knocked away by the golden emperor centipede. Qin He walked among the ruins. I'm a bit confused. Is it true that doing good things is no longer welcomed now? No way, maybe it's just an isolated case. Thinking of this, Qin He immediately became excited. Continue moving deeper into the ruins. Night air. It rings from time to time. I said, please stop helping me, okay? Go away, we really don't need your help, don't kill our zombies. Boss, please stop doing good things. Boss, please act like a human being. There is only one zombie in my zombie horde. You ask me why I didn't kill her. I was lonely and wanted to talk to her and interact with her. Hey, why did you poke a hole in her head? You, go. Really? Do you promise to leave after killing this one? Okay, I believe you. Hey! You're a liar. Brother, please give me a chance to live. I rely on this zombie to level up. I'll give you a piece of wood, so please don't kill it for me, okay? In the ruins. Qin He shook his head and walked alone. I feel so tired. Really, it was at this moment that I realized how hard it is to be a good person. Although it was upgraded from level 15 to level 16. The number of gold coins also increased by several hundred. But I still can't be happy. Doesn't the world need good people anymore? Your Da Vinci is squatting on the top of the mountain, looking into the distance. Although he can't see anything, he is still looking forward to your early return. Da Vinci bumped into the little grey one lying next to him and vomiting, feeling a little embarrassed. How could you vomit out so much high-quality protein? You spendthrift rat. Da Vinci glanced at the sky, and suddenly felt nostalgic. He hoped that you would not encounter any danger outside, and Da Vinci felt lucky. I'm going home now. Qin He turned around and walked back. Anyway, I no longer have the desire to do good deeds or help others. As I was walking, I heard a howl from the top of the mountain. He looked up. It turned out to be the square mountain we just passed. A man stood on the edge of the mountain, fighting against a golden emperor centipede. Behind him, two women sang and danced. You're so happy, Qin He suddenly realized. No wonder I wasn't allowed to do good things just now. It turns out they are so happy when killing monsters. Singing and dancing. Sure enough, everyone has different hobbies. Hey! Boss, can you help us? My man can't take it anymore. The two women on the mountain saw the people down the mountain and shouted loudly as if they had seen a savior. I see you guys are quite happy. Qin He shrugged and spread his hands. I'm afraid it's not appropriate for me to join at this time. Boss, aren't you here to help others? We need help now. The woman's voice was hoarse. Waiting for the people down the mountain to respond. Qin He used Eagle Eye to check the properties of the Golden Emperor Centipede. Golden Centipede 2-star mutant creature, Constitution 60, Strength 70, Speed 60, Spirit 11, Exclusive skills, appeared before, so omitted. After looking at the attributes, Qin He found that this one was much weaker than the ones he had killed. The one I killed before was 3 stars, but this one is only 2 stars. It seems that elite monsters have different strengths for different people. Qin He counted on his fingers. It feels like a good deal. Boss. Have you thought it through? I really can't take it anymore. I can help you, but you need to pay me a fee. Fee? Didn't you just say you were trying to help others and be a good person? Yeah, but being a good person is too tiring. I need some spiritual compensation to comfort myself. God, what the hell, is the mental compensation for being a good person? Wouldn't it be better if you just charged? Brother. Just tell me how much you want. I can't take it anymore. Sun Do finally couldn't hold it in anymore. Compared with life, what is money? The main reason was that he had never seen anyone so hesitant about doing good things. Do good things, please hurry up. Kill this elite and all the items that drop will belong to me, and then you will pay 100 Doomsday Gold coins. Qin He has just calculated this offer. This 2-star elite can only give dozens of experience points, which is gone on average for 4 people. The most important thing is that even a 2-star character can yield dozens of gold coins. Then add the 100 coins paid by this group of people. You can make a small profit of 200 with just a little effort. So cool. Good. Sun Do agreed immediately. An elite monster will only drop some materials or something. As long as you can survive, why not give it to you? This deal is still not a loss. You're so forthright. Qin He clapped his hands and ran towards the mountain. Then I can do good things in peace. A 50m high mountain. It only takes a moment from bottom to top. After all, I now have a buff that doubles my attributes. Then, he rushed up and landed on the top of the mountain. Wow! So fast! Both women screamed at the same time. He is wearing sunglasses when going out late at night. He is indeed a big shot. You are the chanter and the ghost dancer, right? Qin He looked at the two women and asked. At the same time, he held the powerful crossbow and fired a charged arrow at the 2-star Golden Emperor Centipede. The two women nodded at the same time. Then, keep singing and dancing. To be honest, Qin He really wants to experience the buff bonus of the chanter and ghost dancer. Never felt it before. I'm very curious. Good. The two women nodded at the same time. The chorister sang Song of the Wind and the ghost dancers danced swift ballet. Wind song increases agility, and swift ballet increases agility and strength. The effective range is 10 meters. Buzz Qin He was shocked. I feel like all of my attributes are skyrocketing and my strength is endless. As expected, these two auxiliary professions are very helpful. Boss! I can't hold on any longer. Sun Do shouted loudly, and the next moment he was knocked far away by the Golden Emperor Centipede. Are you here to do good things? Or do you want to watch singing and dancing? Clear. The powerful crossbow trigger is pulled. Sun Do and the other two were staring at the light blue arrow that shot at the Golden Emperor Centipede. The man strode forward. He jumped up with an axe in both hands. Land on the head of the Golden Emperor Centipede and chop it with the axe. Phew! Green juice splashed everywhere. He raised the axe and chopped down again. The carapace on the centipede's head is open in the middle. Green juice gushed out. Then the three of them looked at the man, and another axe fell. The Golden Emperor Centipede fell to the ground with a bang. Then, several rays of light flashed on the corpse. One of the orange lights rose into the sky as high as 100 meters, emitting charming brilliance. Whoa grass! Sun Do was shocked. I have never seen an elite that can explode a beam of light all over the ground. The main thing is that there is an orange light. Didn't they say that the explosion rate of multiplayer kills is reduced? Is this what you call low? Ah, this. The two women no longer sang and danced, staring at the beam of light in amazement. This is too powerful. Killed such a big elite monster in just a few strokes? The main thing is that this orange light is so damn bright, right? It's so dazzling. They are all mine. Qin He smiled. All light column cards are stored in the brain warehouse. To be honest, the moment when I killed the Golden Emperor Centipede just now, it triggered Da Vinci's surprise, and the explosion rate was directly increased to 1500%. This is the first time that the explosion rate has reached 1500%. He was surprised himself. At this moment, Qin He suddenly remembered that Da Vinci had a psychological activity just now. Is this the reason why I feel lucky? Chapter 66. Sun Do was stunned. It was no longer because of the shock of the orange light, but because all the cards were collected by the man in front of him. Not a single one left. Ruthless. Boss Sun Do quickly got up from the ground. He trotted forward and said, "Look, it's already glowing orange. Besides, you're a good person who likes to do good things. As for the other things, can you share them with me?" No. Qin He waved his hand. He said, "I am a very honest person. At the beginning, I said that everything is mine. If I share it with you, then I am not a dishonest person, right? Do you like dealing with a dishonest person?" Sun Do heard this. Nothing to say. "Okay, what you said is so irrefutable. Here, give me money. 100 doomsday gold coins." Qin He stretched out his hand. "Boss, free trade is not open yet? I can't give you the money." Sun Do expressed helplessness. "You've taken the orange light, and you still want money. You are too greedy. You don't even need to tell me." Qin He added, "I won't hang anything tomorrow. Just give me the zombie tied tomorrow night." This. Sun Do was a little embarrassed. To be honest, he took the two women to share these experiences. It's already a bit insufficient. If one more person is added, how much experience will be left? He hesitated for a moment and said, "Boss, why don't you hang up the things tomorrow? I'll give you 5 more gold coins, is that okay with you?" No. Qin He looked serious. "You have to understand that I don't do good things for money." Sun Do and the other two looked at the person in front of them and spoke like this. They were all stunned. "What you said is really shameless. Maybe you have forgotten the conditions we discussed before helping me? Now they want to book out our zombie tide tomorrow, isn't it for money? Either you pay me now, or I'll rent the place out tomorrow." "No, I'll take back my own zombie tide." Qin He spoke righteously. "Serious? I can't give you money now, so you just want to break the contract?" Qin He holds the violent axe. Good. Sun Do saw the other party holding an axe. He nodded directly and said, "Boss, after you finish taking your corpse tied tomorrow, don't come the day after tomorrow. There are many people who need help." "It's okay. I think you will still have elite monsters here tomorrow." Sun Do and the other two were completely speechless. Damn it, it seems like I asked you to be a good person today, but you want to just book our zombie tidal wave for the next 5 days, right? Are you doing a good deed, or are you just pulling out our dead hair? I'm leaving now. See you tomorrow night. Qin He took in the body of the Golden Emperor centipede. Turn quickly down the mountain. The figure instantly disappeared into the ruins of the night. Whoa grass. Sun Do sat directly on the ground. Damn, this stinky guy didn't even leave a corpse. Aren't you being too thorough? This guy is so handsome. Yeah, he's even more handsome when he's shameless. The two women stared blankly at the direction where the man disappeared down the mountain. You. Sun Do was so angry that he fell down. What's the matter? How come I ask you to do a good deed but you have to sacrifice your wife for it? Since when did doing good things become so deceptive? Qin He is very happy. Finally found a way to make money. But, it feels a bit risky to do so. After all, it's very easy to get wiped out when you're not careful when killing monsters. We still have to think of a better way to make money. Wang Meng stood on the roof of the bus. His eyes were full of envy and aftertaste. Just now, an orange light appeared in the distance. Orange represents the best. The best thing I have produced so far is only of green quality. It should be the color that will explode after killing a lord level. Wang Meng sat back on the sofa on the roof of the car. This is the best place he found after becoming a free agent. With the ground crack behind them, they are not afraid of zombie attacks at all. Moreover, he added a rope to the bus, hanging directly down the large crack. We found a platform on the cliff of the big crack and dug holes there during the day. That would be his real refuge from now on. At this time, he saw a figure walking from a distance. He quickly picked up the wooden shield and held it in front of him. He only noticed it when the figure came closer. Isn't this the person who likes to do good things and help others? At this time, the man had already walked in front of his car. He just looked up and said, "Brother, do you need help tomorrow?" "No, no need, thank you for your kindness." Wang Meng was completely stunned. There really are people who play nice guys in the doomsday. The main thing is that you played the good guy, and half of my experience and gold coins were taken by you. Are you afraid that you are a bad guy wearing a good guy mask? Is it bad? Don't you need it? The man in black nodded. Okay then, by the way, when I pass by your place tomorrow, is it okay to give it a try if I see the zombies? Wang Meng felt uncomfortable. My hands are itching. If you get itchy hands today, my experience will be reduced by half. To be honest, Wang Meng was angry. But looking at the other party's attire, they were holding spears, axes, crossbows and metal shields. I think it's better not to have a conflict. But I'm itching to do it. What should I do? It's obvious that he's just a monster-killing maniac who wants to get a piece of the pie. Then he said, "Boss, to tell you the truth, I want to reach level 5 and change my job tomorrow. How about this, you come to my place again tomorrow to feel itchy, and don't come the day after tomorrow, okay? After all, we are all independent players, and independent players never make things difficult for independent players. This is what Boss Qin He said personally, you know it, right?" Ah, this. Qin He was thinking that he seemed to have never spoken in the world chat channel. Besides, I've never heard of this before. Wang Meng saw that the person in front of him became silent after hearing Qin He's name. Thinking that he must also believe in Qin he said, "Qin He also said that serious people never do good things." Qin He was stunned. Haha, I actually met a guy who is better at deceiving people than me. What a fate. Then he said, "Brother Qin He also said something, have you heard it?" "And what else did you say?" Wang Meng was stunned. "So you, the itchy guy, really know Mr. Qin He?" He said, "What's yours is mine, mine." "Okay, big brother, stop talking. You can be a good person in my corpse tide the day after tomorrow, but you don't have to be a good person in my place in the future, okay?" Wang Meng expressed his thoughts directly. He had a feeling that if he continued talking, this guy might come and play the role of a good guy every day. Then you will suffer a great loss. To be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that my big rift shelter was almost completed. He agreed directly and moved to another place and left the next day. But, my home is here, and I have to help others be a good person. Ah, okay, it's so hard to be a good person these days, no one understands. Ah, Qin He sighed and disappeared into the night. Wang Meng was left alone on the bus. He frowned, unable to figure it out. Don't you want others to be good people? Is there anything wrong? Is it wrong not to want to trouble others? Suddenly, Wang Meng didn't know what was going on in this world. Is it that I haven't adapted yet, or that others have adapted too quickly? Holding such doubts, Wang Meng lay on the roof of the car with his head tilted back, watching the fireworks blooming everywhere in the sky. The zombie tide is over. Your Da Vinci is looking at the fireworks in the sky, hoping that you will come home soon. You are already so grown up, can you please stop making the little frog so worried? Your Da Vinci looked at Xiao Hui and kicked him aside with contempt. You can vomit and pass out just by eating a bug. You are such a rat. Chapter 67. Qin He returned home. Da Vinci was found squatting on the platform at the top of the mountain, with little Grey lying on his back next to him. This. It seems that Xiao Hui is not destined to have delicious food. Look at how much vomiting it has done. The whole mouse has become thinner. Qin He shook his head. Holding Da Vinci in his left hand and Xiao Hui's tail in his right hand, he returned to the second floor. I glanced at the butterfly that was still hovering. I am really impressed. Although his physique is low, his willpower is really good. After washing up, he threw Xiao Hui on the ground, placed Da Vinci on his chest and went to sleep. It's already late at night. I have to get up early and work tomorrow. It was a rare peaceful night. Early the next morning, Da Vinci climbed up from Qin He's face and rubbed his hand with his head. Jump out of bed. After kicking the sickly-looking Xiao Hui, the two guys went downstairs and down the hill. Your Da Vinci thinks that since we went to the east yesterday, we should go to the east again today. After all, we are familiar with the route and won't get lost, especially if we are afraid that Xiao Hui can't find his way home. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui walked through the ruins and came to a bus. They stopped and looked at the zombies hanging on the window that had been dead for a long time. Your Da Vinci pointed at the dead zombie and told Xiao Hui seriously, "Look, things are unpredictable. It was alive yesterday, but it's dead today. So it's wrong for you to be picky about food, you know." Xiao Hui rolled his eyes and looked for the trash can. These two guys went out so early. Qin He rubbed his eyes. I originally wanted to sleep in. But as soon as the traveling frog goes out, all kinds of information flood into his mind. I can't sleep well even if I want to. He stood up and stretched. Hey! Qin He looked at the windowsill. The sober peony is still in full bloom, but Xiaomei is already lying on the windowsill. Could he be dead? He might be dead. Even if it is a mutant creature, it cannot fly day and night like it. When I walked up to check, I found that Xiaomei's wings were still trembling slightly. This reminds Qin He of a poem, even if I die under the peony flowers, I will still be romantic even if I become a ghost. Sure enough, any living creature with emotions and desires cannot escape this law. Stay away from peony. Whether you can come back to life depends on your own luck. Qin He picked up the butterfly. Throw it out of the window. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui came to the flower bed in the dilapidated park and found that all the glowing flowers were gone. They cursed the person who stole the flowers together. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui cursed for half an hour and left to go somewhere else. They came to a low house that had not completely collapsed. Various sundries were scattered in the room. A box caught Da Vinci's interest. He activated the collection ability on the box and the collection was successful. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui continued to stroll and came to a collapsed ruin. They saw a lot of sports equipment inside. Xiao Hui squeaked excitedly. Da Vinci looked over and found a red exclamation mark. Snap! Qin He, who was eating, dropped his chopsticks. Red exclamation mark, hidden mission. To be honest, Qin He was a little panicked. My dear, please don't play with it. Now is the period of the 7 nights of zombie tide. If you take a super difficult hidden task for example, when you kill a lord level boss, all the lord level bosses are not killed by then. The tide of zombies is coming towards him again. That's a death. Frog boy, do you have telepathy? Do you feel it? Your Da Vinci patted Xiao Hui's head. How many times have you played this game? Still playing? Grow up, mouse. Your Da Vinci takes Xiao Hui away from here and goes somewhere else. Great. Qin He picked up the chopsticks on the ground. Continue eating dumplings. These dumplings are more delicious than yesterday's. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui encountered a fallen tree on the road and found a bird's nest between the branches. There were 3 bird eggs in the nest. Xiao Hui drooled. Da Vinci slapped Little Grey on the head with his paw. You don't eat the bugs at home, but you eat what other people poop. Isn't that disgusting? Little Grey was speechless. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui were about to leave when a bird landed in the nest and covered the eggs with its belly. Da Vinci became curious. The two little guys learned from the bird's mouth that it was using its body temperature to incubate the eggs. Da Vinci suddenly felt very happy. What? Qin He, who was holding the metal plate and preparing to merge it into the wall, was stunned. He couldn't imagine them communicating with birds. You guys are really good. Sure enough, between animals, there are always inexplicable ways of communicating. Your Da Vinci is very excited. He knows how to hatch eggs. He and Little Grey hopped to a large crack. Da Vinci saw a stone with a light blue glow. The stone would heat up and was ready to start collecting eggs. Little Grey squeaked, and seemed very excited. Your Da Vinci followed Xiao Hui's gaze and saw a big yellow flower on the edge of the cliff. Then he and Xiao Hui jumped over. Seeing that the big yellow flower was emitting light and heat, which was even hotter than the light blue stone, he decisively gave up the stone and used his collecting ability on the big yellow flower. The collection was successful. Xiao Hui was stunned. Why is it gone again? Your Da Vinci continued to search forward and found 2 more large yellow flowers, and put them all into his travel backpack. Xiao Hui was stunned the whole time. What's wrong with this world? How can something that I think is beautiful disappear just like that? Damn God! It's so unfair to mice. It's the sunshine flower. Qin He receives real-time information about their travels. I guess that big yellow flower means sunshine. Created by the mutation of a sunflower. Can emit light and heat. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui continued to walk forward and saw a man lying on a low wall, peeking inside furtively with his butt sticking out. Da Vinci and Xiao Hui jumped to a higher place and found 2 ladies taking a bath inside the low wall. They all looked at the man with the butt sticking out, a pervert. Your Da Vinci was tempted to seek justice. He jumped behind the man and took away his pants because there was only one compartment left in his travel backpack. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui left quickly. Da Vinci felt that he had gained a lot today. He learned how to hatch eggs and found the tools to hatch eggs. Now he went home to hatch snake eggs. On the way home, he passed by cracks in the collapsed low house with sports equipment. Xiao Hui looked at the red exclamation mark inside reluctantly. Your Da Vinci feels very happy today and wants to make his friend happy too, and then they rush towards the red exclamation mark together. FK. I knew it. Qin He put down the supply box. Gently wiped his forehead. Be prepared to face it. It's just. I'm so tired. Your Da Vinci has triggered a difficult hidden task. Since it is a frog cub, the task is automatically transferred to you. After receiving the task, please complete the task within the valid time and you will receive a generous reward. Of course, you can also choose not to complete it and accept the corresponding punishment. In a ruin. Zhaoqiang, you followed me after the supreme honor was disbanded. Am I being good enough to you? Lu Hua looked at Zhaoqiang who had his head hung in front of him. Then tell me the truth, how did you lose your pants today? Don't tell me that they disappeared suddenly like last time. I don't believe it. Boss, it really disappeared all of a sudden. Can you give me another pair of pants? Just be naked, you're used to it anyway. I'm not used to it yet after all, it's still a bit cold at night. Qin He sat on the roof, waiting for the frog cub to come home and flick its butt. Your Da Vinci and Xiao Hui are happily jumping all the way home. Xiao Hui has rummaged through 10 trash cans, ready to go back for a wonderful dinner. Your Da Vinci is excited and wants to go home quickly to hatch the snake eggs. Chapter 68. Qin He finished reinforcing the outer wall of the house. So I sorted out the goods I received last night. I got 549 gold coins last night, plus the previous ones I had accumulated a total of 4,818. It still ranks firmly on the wealth list. The level has been raised to level 16, 143/1000. Judging from my efficiency in helping others last night, I can reach level 20 before the end of the second chapter. The level will reach the second job change requirement. But it also requires 2 blood certificates of Lord level boss and 1 King level boss. This is where it gets a little tricky. There will definitely be no shortage of Lord level and King level ones. As your level increases, the difficulty of the corresponding zombie tide will increase. The difficulty lies in how to deal with it easily. Look what orange is. Qin He took out the orange card that exploded when he killed the 2-star elite centipede last night. Walter. See the card contents. Qin He couldn't accept it for a while. As expected, the equipment drop rate in the second chapter is terribly low. Either they produce building materials or flowers and plants. Now, even the soil has come out. High-level soil, rich in various minerals and trace elements, it is the best soil for growing mutant plants. It can reduce the maturity period of plants, mutated, by 20%, specification 25 square meters. So earthy. Qin He put the card into the brain warehouse. Now is not the time to plant the crops. After all, life is not stable enough. After finishing, I had something to eat. I went downstairs and walked around the top of the mountain. He was thinking about how to build his own shelter. The mountain is trapezoidal, and the slopes are covered with tarmac, making it difficult for zombies to climb up. What about your own shelter? Got it. Qin He suddenly had an inspiration. Then I packed my equipment and went out. When inspiration comes, a lot of materials are needed. He opened the world chat channel and checked the time. 10:56 p.m. There are 4 minutes left until the supply box is dropped. Immediately put on your equipment and go down the northern slope. Today's goal is simple, pick up more supply boxes and then find as many materials as possible to make the orange crossbow design module. After all, Da Vinci smashed another red exclamation mark. Difficult hidden mission. The last time this kind of task was activated, the Axeman Ah Chang appeared. Lord level B0SS. And that was the Lord level of the first chapter. According to the rules of the Doomsday game, the Lord level in the second chapter should be more powerful. He wanted to hide away and not take the mission. But Da Vinci accepted it, and the punishment would still take effect if the task deadline was exceeded. Therefore, it is better to stack attributes as soon as possible. Who made me have a good frog baby? When your Da Vinci comes home and finds you are not there, he gets very anxious. He thinks you went out so late last night and went out so early today. Are you a donkey in the production team? Your Da Vinci found Xiaomei lying outside, and the light on her body had disappeared. Da Vinci jumped over to check, and licked her with his tongue. His tongue was covered with butterfly powder. Tui. Your Da Vinci called Xiao Hui and squatted beside Xiaomei. Xiao Hui was trembling all over. You won't eat this for lunch? Will you eat your crush? Da Vinci patted Xiao Hui and thought that this mouse was too cruel. Let's mourn for him first. Your Da Vinci suddenly got an inspiration. Such a beautiful butterfly should be made into a specimen. Xiao Hui stretched out his claws to poke the butterfly. It seems to be still moving. Specimen? I can make it. Qin He searched along the large crack. I was very curious after receiving the information. Why did these two come back so early today? Maybe they are in a hurry to hatch the snake eggs. Your Da Vinci also poked the butterfly, but found it was still moving, so he ignored it, and went to the second floor with Xiao Hui. He thought that he should focus on hatching these 3 big eggs. Your Da Vinci stared at the egg in a daze. Xiao Hui pushed over half a bag of ketchup. Da Vinci was a little disgusted. He slowly stuck out his tongue, dipped a little bit, glared at Xiao Hui and patted his head. You're sour, and you're giving it to me. Xiao Hui felt uncomfortable. Friend, you haven't seen the world, have you? Your Da Vinci hopped downstairs, glanced at Xiaomei, and squatted at the edge of the mountain top, waiting for you to come home. It hopes that everything goes well for you when you go out, and that you won't encounter any troubles. It hopes that whatever you wish will come true, so it has a good luck heart. Good luck. Qin He didn't dare to be too happy. Because we still can't figure out Da Vinci's mental patterns. And what's amazing is that Leonardo da Vinci always had feelings for himself. Those thoughts may work their way back upon you through unexpected surprises. This has happened more than once or twice. It is better to be cautious. Snap. Qin He heard the sound and looked down. The originally flat ground now had cracks as fine as veins, with his feet as the center. It was like stepping on broken glass. Sure enough, is this the heart of good luck? Qin He remained motionless and looked around quickly. It was discovered that the crack had extended over 10 meters in all directions. At this moment, we are walking on thin ice. Now the only way to fly out of this crack is to grow a pair of wings. Qin He moved his feet carefully and gently, hoping. At this time, a whooshing sound came from the sky. A blue and white supply pack. It fell on the head. Headgear durability 1. Boom. The ground collapsed instantly and Qin He fell into it. Crooked. Ping, pong, ding, bang, ouch. Clothes durability -1. Pants durability -1. Hat durability -1. Shoes durability -1. Inside the cave. There was the sound of flesh hitting the cliff. The world became quiet. Qin He sat up from the ground and found that he had fallen into a cave. The inner wall of this cave is vertical and is about 30 meters deep. Although the sun was shining brightly outside, it was still dark inside. If I didn't have talent and sunglasses, I'm afraid I can't see clearly around me. What's even more fortunate is that my own attributes are high enough, and my full body equipment can withstand the damage. Otherwise, the consequences will be difficult to predict. Qin He rubbed his head and looked at the supply box in front of him. At this moment he was a little confused. I don't know if this is good luck. Whoosh bang. Headgear durability -1. Qin He rubbed his head in pain. I saw another supply box in front of me. I can't be happy at all. My head hurts. This is without wearing headgear. I guess I'm gone. He looked up at the cave entrance and immediately raised his shield to block. Bang. Shield durability -1. A supply box slid down the shield and fell in front of him. You, frog boy, are so lucky that you want to kill me. By the time I get home, your butt might be gone. Qin He stood against the rock wall with his shield raised. After waiting for a few minutes, he felt that he might not be so lucky anymore. The moment the shield was moved away, another supply box is coming. 10 minutes later, Qin He collected a total of 5 supply boxes. But he wasn't happy at all. This was earned at the cost of one's life. They are all blood and sweat boxes. How do we get up there? Qin He stood up with his shield and walked around in the cave. It is more than 30 meters high and the rocks around it are very smooth. It is impossible to climb up. Swish! A torch fell at the bottom of the cave. Then, a rope fell to the ground. Immediately afterwards, a man stepped onto the rock wall along the rope. Qin He's eyes lit up. Wouldn't this allow us to go up? What you think will come true? Frog's good luck is sometimes quite reliable. However, why does this person's back look familiar? Wang Meng was very excited because he saw several supply boxes falling into this cave. I made a fortune today. He turned around and picked up the torch from the ground. As soon as I stood up, I saw a man wearing sunglasses in front of me, giving him an indescribable smile. Again, it's you again. Good man brother. Hey, I'm afraid you'll have to be the good guy this time. Chapter 69. A few minutes later, 2 people crawled out of the cave one after another. Wang Meng looked lost and uncomfortable. Damn it! How bad is my luck that I met this good person? There were so many boxes, all taken away by good people. I didn't get anything at all. Qin He dusted himself off. He casually took out a piece of wood and said, Friend, I don't have anything to prepare when I go out. You can take this piece of wood as a thank you for the rope. There's no need for wooden boards. We're all good people. Wang Meng felt a little uncomfortable. With so many supply boxes, why don't you just give me a piece of wood? You are too stingy. But a piece of wood is also a thing, why not take it? That's so sorry. Qin He put the wooden board into the brain warehouse. Wang Meng's outstretched hand had nowhere to go between the two of them. It's very embarrassing. Don't shake hands. You haven't washed your hands yet. They are dirty. Qin He took a step back. Wang Meng's eyes widened. Good man, I really admire your meticulousness and caution. Then he retracted his hand and said, Good man, let's search separately. Goodbye. Having said that, the man ran away quickly. Avoid it like the plague. Qin He smiled. Look, he is really not greedy for money. Hey, there are still many good people in the world. Qin He turned around and continued forward, heading for a crack in the ground not far away. Whoosh! A sound was heard breaking through the air. Qin He raised his shield to block above his head. Bang! The supply box hit the shield with a loud bang. Shield durability -1. Qin He collected the supply box very calmly. The more you experience these situations, the more adept you will become. Now he is not panicking at all. Continue walking forward and finally arrive at the edge of the big crack cliff. Looking around, the area within 100 meters is clearly visible. A stone surrounded by a light blue glow is right on the edge of the big crack cliff. Qin He ran forward. Is my luck so strong that I encountered a psychic stone as soon as I arrived? Oops! Qin He is gone. On the road, there is a sewer opening without a manhole cover. Sitting there quietly with mouth open. Just now, it swallowed a person. Your Da Vinci is looking forward to your return home. Why haven't you come back yet? Lunchtime has already passed and he is hungry. Mainly because little Gray is so hungry that he is eating junk food. I feel sorry for him. Your Leonardo da Vinci looked up at the sky and saw a big bird flying by. Even though it was so far away, Leonardo da Vinci could still feel the charming temperament of the big bird. I really hope that one day you can bring back a swan. After all, you have to complete what your ancestors have not completed. Your Da Vinci is looking forward to you. Qin He, who was sitting in the sewer, sneered. Shake your head. Don't even think about swan meat or anything like that, your butt is destined to be beaten to a pulp tonight. Fortunately, this sewer is just a remnant of the earthquake. There's nothing disgusting in it. But there is still some pitch-black mud. It emits a foul odor. Qin He held his breath and looked up at the wellhead. Fortunately it's not too deep. As long as someone comes to rescue us, we can still get out. Mad Qin He sighed. If I had known this earlier, I should have let Wang Meng come with me. Even though we met by chance, we can still share the same difficulties. Gurgle gurgle. Qin He heard the voice and lowered his head subconsciously. He assured me that it wasn't his stomach rumbling. Gurgle gurgle. Qin He looked in the direction of the sound and saw the foul, smelly mire on the left moving. Then, a wet, dirty, faceless, and eyeless creature as thick as a bowl stuck its head out of the mud. The skin looks moist, soft, and smooth. This is... Qin He immediately raised his shield and retreated. At the same time, use Eagle Eye to check its properties. Giant Sewer Earthworm 1-star Elite Constitution 50 Strength 40 Agility 30 Spirit 11 Exclusive Skill, Blinding Jet Exclusive Skill, Physically Disabled but Strong-Minded. Qin He continued to retreat. Still a little scared. The Earthworm skills are all 4 words. The fewer words, the better it is. Then check the weakness. Sewer Worm Weakness, try cutting it into several pieces. Cut into several pieces. Qin He raised his shield, ready to attack. Hiss. The earthworm opens its mouth, surrounded by dense fleshy teeth. Then, an oval bulge in the lower half of its body moved upwards, visible to the naked eye. It was like something was about to burst out of its mouth. Puff! A large pool of black and smelly mud burst out of the mouth. FK. Qin He raised his shield. The stinky mud hit the shield and splashed everywhere. A suffocating stench spread thickly. At this time, Qin He wants to vomit. This is what is called a blind attack. It's so vivid and appropriate. Clear. Raise the crossbow and shoot. The crossbow arrow passed through the earthworm's body. There were no serious injuries. Instead, it attracted another mouthful of thick mud. Puff! The foul-smelling mud hit the shield. Qin He immediately took out a mask from the brain warehouse and put it on. Although the giant earthworm has low damage, it is still an insult. Take it, everyone. Puff! Another lump of thick, smelly mud spurted out. Qin He raised his shield and rushed forward. When he gets close, he puts away his shield, takes out his axe and sweeps across. Cut the giant earthworm in half. The earthworm, broken into 2 pieces, rolled its body in the stinking mud. The mouth parts and the broken body spray out smelly mud at the same time. Qin He, who was standing in front of him, got all the answers right. Is this what they call a strong will despite being disabled? Spraying mud until it kills? Okay, you earthworm are showing off to me. Puff puff. The axe was swung and chopped wildly on the face. After a moment, the earthworms in the mud have been broken into several pieces. Finally stopped struggling. A blue beam of light stood up. Qin He exhales deeply, inhales low. It stinks, it irritates my eyes. Take a sip, it's so refreshing. I've never seen such disgusting stuff. Even if the cards popped out, I wasn't very happy. Gulp gulp. At this time, bubbles continued to emerge from the smelly mud at both ends of the sewer. Qin He was a little panicked. There won't be another one, will there? Crash. On both sides of the sewer, several giant earthworms as thick as bowls emerged. Meanwhile, smelly mud was brewing in the belly. Spray out at the same time. A few minutes later, on the quiet and dilapidated street, there is a sewer opening without a manhole cover. A man came out. Qin He stood up and shoved his head toward the wellhead. Just now, he planned to eliminate a group of people. Not a single piece left, all cut. A bunch of cards exploded. Also upgraded to level 17. but the smell on his body was so bad that he couldn't bear to smell himself. Qin He took away the 8 Jin spiritual energy stone from the big crack. Keep searching forward. Before I knew it, I had walked a long way and the sound of flowing water came into my ears. Qin He followed the sound and walked over. I saw a fountain with clear spring water flowing, forming a small pond with a clear bottom in the depression next to it. There are actually fish swimming inside. Although I don't know how such a magical place was formed. But you can wash it first, this stinky mud smells so bad. Qin He looked around cautiously but saw no one. Start washing your hair and face. After washing, he took off his equipment and rinsed it in the water. After a while, the fish in the pond floated on the water. The white belly is turned up. The fish heads all pointed towards the people washing clothes on the shore. The fish's eyes opened wide. Ah, this. Qin He was stunned at first, and then delighted. We can eat fish today. To be honest, sometimes Leonardo da Vinci's luck. Then, a fish with colorful lights flowing all over its body appeared. Flip on your belly and float on the water. The fish opened and closed its mouth, staring at Qin He. Blow bubbles from time to time. This. A mutant creature. Qin He used Eagle Eye to check its properties. 5-star Koi Constitution, 6 Strength, 6 Agility, 6 Spirit, 6 Exclusive Talent, good luck, keep it at home to increase your fortune. This is wonderful. Qin He reached out and grabbed it, wanting to store it in his brain warehouse. Tip, you cannot take in living creatures. Qin He was wondering, why could a half-zombie be in the brain warehouse? Does this mean that only the living bodies collected by Da Vinci can be transferred to the brain warehouse? Qin He then looked around for a container. After searching for a long time without finding it, he finally saw a trash can. After cleaning, the koi and other fish were put in. Go home. Chapter 70. Your Da Vinci watched you walk to the foot of the mountain and jumped up and down happily. When he saw you holding a trash can in your hand, he felt a little sad. He thought you couldn't learn to rummage through the trash can like Little Grey. How could you learn from a rat? Da Vinci saw Little Grey beside him, looking like he was justified in rummaging through the trash can, and he got angry, so he kicked Little Grey down the hill. Da Vinci watched you carrying Little Grey up the hill, and when he saw your eyes, he felt something was wrong, so he turned around and ran away. Your Da Vinci felt that you had grabbed it. It felt that your grip was a bit too strong, and it did hurt a bit this time. It felt that if you wanted to, you could also look through the trash can. Just don't learn from Little Grey and eat the things inside. Today, you almost killed me. Qin He held Da Vinci and prepared to go upstairs. He found that the butterfly he threw out was still lying there. He was thinking, if I really died, just keep it as a specimen. Then make a photo frame and hang it on the wall as a good decoration. Butterfly, Xiaomei, come on. Whether you live or die, the way out is paved for you. Qin He jumped on the spot, crossed the roadblock, walked into the hut and went to the second floor. Put the trash can aside. I plan to buy a fish tank to raise fish when the trading house opens. Raising fish should also be considered a part of warmth. After settling down, he came to the sober peony and smelled the fragrance of the flowers. Well, all the fatigue disappeared without a trace. Although there was no response on the physical level. But the mental state is very full. Your Da Vinci thinks you can let go of it now. If you keep holding it like this, you might have to hold a memorial service for the cute frog baby. Da Vinci's body relaxes, and he jumps into your arms, quacking and telling you that he has learned how to hatch eggs today. He wants you to pat his head quickly and start to do business. Your Da Vinci feels your touch on his head and feels relaxed. Your Da Vinci travels back, and all items in your backpack are automatically transferred to your brain warehouse. Your traveling frog Da Vinci has jumped 1,314 times and gained 1,314 points of all-around travel experience. 1314. Qin He rolled his eyes at Da Vinci. The implication of the number of times you jump is quite good. Then, he held his breath and waited for the difficult hidden task to arrive. Your Da Vinci accepts a difficult hidden mission. Since it is a frog cub, the mission is transferred to you. Difficult hidden tasks. What do you mean? Half of the first batch of people who accepted the hidden mission died. After that, very few people accepted it. I don't know what happened. You are so brave that you accepted it again? Mischievous female voice. In the end of the world, everyone will become bad, good people will become bad people will become worse people, so will there be no good people in this world? No, in order to promote positive energy and let everyone feel the warmth of the world, you should be a good person, be a good person. Qin He touched the tip of his nose. Seriously, I went out last night to be a good person. It's really not welcomed. In the end, I had to accept benefits from others just to be a good person. Alas, people's hearts are no longer the same as they used to be. Task goal, get someone to say thank you 1000 times in person, sincerely. Task time limit, 24 hours. Mission reward, 1000 experience points, 1000 doomsday gold coins, 10 doomsday supply boxes. Failure penalty, if you exceed the time limit or cheat, you will be punished by being immobilized for 48 hours. Thanks. Qin He finished reading the mission objectives. I just feel a little uncomfortable. I went out for a walk by myself yesterday. It seems like no one likes me, a helpful person. I helped others, but was still despised. How to get sincere thanks from others? There are 1000 of them. It's hard to say whether there are 1000 living people nearby. Your Da Vinci feels bad when he sees you looking sad. He wants you to get the big yellow flower out. He wants to do what the froglet wants to do. Your Da Vinci senses your gentle gaze and obediently jumps off your knees, squats on the ground and looks up at you with a pair of big round eyes. It thinks that at this moment, your heart must have melted. If not, it will be pitiful again. You picked up your Da Vinci and kneaded him in your hands for a while. He felt his bones become soft. He suddenly felt hungry. I really don't want to play you. Qin He put Da Vinci on the ground. He took out a few plump white bugs and threw them into the small porcelain plate on the ground. When Xiao Hui saw this, he stepped back. His eyes looked a little desperate. Qin He saw this scene. Take out a small packet of ketchup from the brain warehouse and squeeze it into a porcelain plate full of white bugs. Xiao Hui saw the ketchup, sniffed it and wanted to come forward. But after seeing the insects squirming, he still stepped back. Qin He picked up a worm, dipped it in ketchup, and handed it to Xiao Hui. Try this way of eating. Your Da Vinci stared at Xiao Hui, not giving him face, right? Xiao Hui timidly stepped forward and bit the bug covered with ketchup. His eyes rolled, this time it was really delicious. Your Da Vinci is watching you. Your Da Vinci watched you pour ketchup on the bug, and it stuck out its tongue, rolled up a piece and swallowed it into its mouth, swallowed it into its stomach. It felt a little sour. You guys eat first. Qin He picked up an ordinary fish from the trash can. Take out the pot and boil water to cook the fish. After a long time, 1 man, 1 frog, and 1 rat, all were full. Everyone stayed comfortably in their own position. Your Da Vinci patted Xiao Hui and brought it to the first floor, and asked Xiao Hui to dig holes on the ground. After half an hour, 5 holes were dug. Your Da Vinci hops up to the second floor and quacks for you to go downstairs. You follow it downstairs. It stares at you, hoping that you can understand the matter of the fever stone, the big yellow flower, the egg, and the 5 pits. Your Da Vinci watched you put the heating stone at the bottom of the big pit in the middle, planted 4 big yellow flowers in the 4 pits around it, and put 3 eggs in the middle pit. It was very satisfied. It thought you were much smarter than Little Grey. Little Grey, who was squatting beside you and covered in dirt, rolled his eyes. Am I stupid, after being organized according to Leonardo da Vinci's psychological activities? Qin He stood up and looked at the layout on the ground. There is a psychic stone at the bottom of the pit, and 3 snake eggs are placed on the psychic stone. Then 4 sunflowers were used to surround it, making it glow and emit heat. To be honest, Qin He was stunned. It feels that every time the frog baby upgrades and evolves, it becomes smarter. But he was still a little worried. These are the 3 snake eggs. They won't be roasted, right? Although these 3 snake eggs are large and the egg shells are thick. But I've never seen anyone hatch snake eggs. This is a bit uncomfortable. Let it be. If you fail, you can still improve the food yourself. Snake eggs, I don't know what they taste like. Just a little curious. Qin He took a look at the little grey beside him and decided to let it try it first. Chapter 71. Qin He glanced at Xiao Hui who was squatting next to him. He was very curious about this guy's attributes. Then turn on Eagle Eye to check the little mouse. Brave little grey ordinary creature's constitution, 1 strength, 1 agility, 1 spirit. Exclusive talent, trash can detection, can quickly locate trash cans with food evolution. The apocalypse didn't catch up with the mutation, it's hard to evolve good fellow. It's still a question mark. You have serious mental problems. But judging from Xiaohui's usual behavior, it should be quite smart. I felt a little sad for this rat. Some earthworms that are dumber than it can mutate into star elites. But it can't. It seems that Xiao Hui's good fortune in life has suppressed his abnormal fortune. In fact, it's good to be lucky. He was bounced far away by the tree and didn't even die when he landed. Ordinary people can't do that. Qin He looked at the snake eggs again and stopped paying attention to them. The main thing is that it is impossible for this thing to hatch all at once, that would not be reasonable. Maybe I can have extra food tomorrow. Thinking of this, Qin He came to the top platform with a smile. Because Vinci was in a hurry to hatch the eggs. He didn't even have time to check the difficulty of the difficult hidden mission, which was reduced by 40%, title and necklace. Now I see it, I almost vomit blood, due to the title short and fast and the coin necklace. The difficulty of this difficult hidden mission is reduced by 40%, the 1000 thanks remain unchanged, and the immobilization time after mission failure is reduced by 40%, that is, from 48 hours to 28.8 hours, rounded up to 29 hours, and then rounded up to 30 hours. Qin He lowered his eyebrows. You are really good at it. After 3 seconds of being stunned, Qin He maintained a stable mood and checked today's delivery. Today was a really big harvest, with 12 doomsday supply boxes. 180 square bricks, 70 wooden boards, 60 iron sheets and 30 steel plates were mined. In addition, there are 6 wooden spiked barricades, 1 wooden door, and 3 wooden windows. As for the materials for making armor, automatic high durability * one-handed crossbow design module. Refined gold, 0/10 Jin. Fine fiber, 0.2/1 Jin. Steel and wood, 1/10 Jin, because using root as a measurement is too vague and it is difficult to measure the length, thickness, so it is easier to calculate using Jin. Psychic stone, 10/10 Jin. Qin He took a look at the required materials and now only the psychic stone was enough. The others are still far behind. In fact, he also has a bunch of brilliant flowers that can produce fine fibers. The growth cycle is 10 days. Even if you add good soil, it will take 8 days. I definitely can't wait 8 days. Besides, the shelter hasn't been built yet. Don't waste money. Wait until the Doomsday Trading House opens tonight and see if anyone is selling this kind of stuff. If it's cheap, buy it, if it's not, go out and look for something else. After organizing my thoughts, Qin He reluctantly took out a stack of cards that were exploded by the one-star earthworm. All blue, low-grade black soil X20, contains some minerals and trace elements. It is a good choice for growing plants, mutations. It can reduce the maturity period of plants, mutations, by 5%. Specifications, 1x1 square meters. It's really a true explosion rate. Qin He put away the card. It was discovered that Leonardo da Vinci also brought back a box. I took it out and opened it, and found a telescope inside. This is a pleasant surprise. My own professional skills and talents allow me to see clearly within 100 meters. If you add a telescope, will it double? Qin He looked at the time. There were still a few hours before the Doomsday Trading House opened at 1800 hours in the afternoon. Then he opened the World Chat channel. See what everyone is talking about and get some useful information. How's the construction of your house going? I just finished it, and the zombie tide destroyed it last night. Are you stupid? Who would stay in a certain place if they don't have some strength? I moved to a new place after each shot. The mission to complete the shelter is not what we want at all. As long as we can survive, it's fine. Do you really want to get the first place? Yes, that achievement is what the big guys think about. For us ordinary people, the most important thing is to think about how to survive. It seems that most of us think the same thing. After I get the supply box, I use what I can use and sell all the other fancy things. You're right to do that. Qin He saw what these people said. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's the end of the world. Just being alive is enough. Why think about so many useless things? But this is a good thing for me. After all, there are fewer competitors. At this moment, there is an illusion. That is, the title of a fighter who strives day and night is waving at him. Don't worry, I'll be right there. By the way, have you noticed a problem? It seems that we rarely hear people from outside the city participating in our gossip. Now that you mention it, it seems to be true. Hey friends outside the city, how are you doing? I also want to know. I don't know how my parents are doing back home. I don't dare to go anywhere and I can't contact them. I don't know if they saw the message I sent in the world chat channel. Me too. I posted my message in the world chat channel when I had nothing to do, hoping that my family would see it. Unfortunately, I haven't received a reply yet. Friends, I am in the wild, and it is hard to describe. I really envy you people in the city for being able to have such a pleasant chat. I will not say more. I am going to continue to run away. Everyone, I advise you, if you are in the city, don't even think about coming to the wild. This is my sincere advice. Qin He touched the tip of his nose and thought. Think of the black python, the golden centipede and the giant earthworm, and the big bird in the sky. These are all mutated creatures in the city, so aren't there more outside the city? And the categories are complete. Qin He closed the chat channel and walked along the top of his hill. Through the information just obtained, I changed my mind about building the shelter. He stood on the edge of the mountain top. Look at the world in front of you. I don't know what the future will be like, so let's just live first. Song Hao is very conflicted now. Last night, my level had reached the first job change standard. But now I am struggling with what choice to make. There are 10 professions, it's really hard to choose. Undertaker, first turn voltage sniper, first turn elementalist, first transformation stalker, first transformation puppet master, first turn barrier, first turn ghost dancer, first turn hunter, first turn song master, first turn fighter, first turn. The first thing he gave up on was being a mortician, because from what he saw, it seemed like the job was to collect corpses. It's similar to a saint's profession, or a good person's profession. Doomsday survival doesn't seem to be very strong. As for the elementalist, he was even more hesitant to choose him, as he had learned from the world chat information before. Some had gills on their necks, others had petrified skin. These are all good things. It is said that some people have awakened the water element and are prone to sweating. I have to change more than 10 pairs of underwear every day. This is very uncomfortable. The profession of hymnist actually has high requirements for people. Through understanding, if a person with tone deafness chooses this profession, the effect of the skills he sings will be halved. So I won't consider it anymore. The ghost dancer is much the same. Someone who can't even do the splits would probably be useless as a ghost dancer. He didn't want to be a puppeteer because there would be a monster following him every day. Song Hao said he wouldn't be able to sleep. Mainly, I also learned from the world chat channel that a person worked as a puppeteer and refined a zombie of the opposite S*X, and was eaten at night. This is terrifying. So he set his career goal on the side of the culprit. Charge, stealth, fortress, hunting, and fierce fighting. As I thought about it, I started to feel conflicted again. He was wondering what that big brother's occupation was. Then he picked up the telescope and looked at the hill in the distance. Chapter 72. Qin He stood on the roadblock and jumped onto the roof. Sitting in a chair and enjoying the sunshine. He wondered what would happen if Leonardo da Vinci really hatched the little snake. Then this house will be lively. The main problem is the orientation of this guy, which is worrying. Later, the snake's son asked, "Where is Mom?" Leonardo da Vinci couldn't have said that there was a dying butterfly lying on the ground. This is not reliable. Lottery. Qin He was conscious of entering the prize pool, and today da Vinci returned with his experience from traveling. Adding the remaining experience from the previous time, you can draw 14 times. This should be pretty cool. Awesome. Song Hao held the telescope. Watch the big guy leap onto the roof. It must be at least 4 or 5 meters high. I'm level 5 now, so I should be able to jump very high, right? Thinking of this, he stood up and jumped on the spot. The pants fell off. Finished, forgot to squat for a big poop. Qin He clicked to draw 14 times. Rays of light linger in my mind. Then the card fell into the brain warehouse with a snap. Qin He immediately took it out and started to check. Travel Frog Strawberry Poison Dart Frog Fragments X2 Travel Frog Bullfrog Fragments X4 Travel Frog King Horned Frog Fragment X2 Travel Frog Clown Frog Fragment X1 Travel Frog Exclusive Feed Bugs X1 Box Travel Frog Exclusive Weight Bearing Enhancement Card X1, 50 Caddies, Travel Frog Leaf Frog Fragment X2 1 Lotus Plant in the Traveling Frog's Exclusive Pond. The round and large lotus leaves are where the frogs usually gather and play lotus. Qin He saw the lotus card. I was truly healed. My god, I feel like I'm living a life worse than a frog. What made him happy was that this time, the total number of bullfrog fragments added up to 8. At this rate, the second froglet will appear soon. Da Vinci, you are never alone again. But, Qin He fell into deep thought again. Thanks to a thoughtful frog boy like Da Vinci, today was very smooth. If the second froglet is also a thoughtful one, then I am afraid that I am? As steady as Qin He is, he dare not think further. It depends on God's will. At this moment, he felt that he was being spied on. He didn't get up immediately, but looked around as if nothing had happened. Look in a direction intuitively. I looked around and found nothing unusual. Then he picked up the telescope and looked at a distant hill. Oh my god, it's so white. As stable as Qin He. I was also surprised by what I saw in the telescope. Song Hao stuck out his butt and finally wiped himself clean. I was so excited just now that I completely forgot that I was still defecating. Jumping on the spot was immediately embarrassing. I hope no one saw it. It's so embarrassing. At this moment, he picked up the telescope and continued to watch the boss. Hey! Song Hao immediately put down the telescope. He looked a little nervous. He raised the telescope again and looked. Okay. The big guy was actually looking at himself through a telescope. Over. They were all seen. Qin He looked at the man through the telescope. The other person went into the small house on the top of the mountain with his pants lifted up. Excuse me. I saw it all. It's okay, I'm a good person. But Qin He felt that the person opposite him must be a pervert. He stood up and looked through the telescope. The man's hill in the distance was on the other side of a large crack in the ground. The crack is about 100 meters wide. And it extends very long to both sides. Seeing this, Qin He felt relieved. The pervert on the other side can't get over. Before we know it, the doomsday trading house is about to open. Qin He went downstairs and came to the first floor where snake eggs were hatched. I saw Da Vinci and Xiao Hui still squatting there. He gave them a cold look. Are you all waiting for the meal to start? Then he took out the weighted card he had just drawn and rubbed it on Da Vinci's head. Increase weight successfully. This is the second time I've upgraded its load capacity, plus its original load capacity. The little kid can now collect about 160 kilograms of things. Qin He returned to the second floor and prepared to lie on the bed to check the transaction. A comfortable posture can bring out new inspiration. At this time, he saw Xiaomei dancing around Qingxing Mutant. Qin He walked forward and looked out of the window. I'm sure this is the real Mei. My goodness, you are really risking your life. The main thing is that he's not dead yet. The specimen photo frame is ready, and you are alive again. This is too disrespectful. 1800 hours all channel broadcast a new night, the doomsday trading begins, please seize the time to trade. Qin He glanced at Xiaomei. Admire its will. Then he lay on the bed and clicked on the trading screen. First check the material classification, there is indeed such thing as fine fiber. 10 gold coins for one tail. So expensive. Even if it's a coin necklace, it still costs 8 gold coins at a 20% discount. It's still very expensive. Let's go see if there is any in the free trade zone first. Qin He clicks on the free trade zone materials area. I found that there were people selling fine fiber, at 9.5 gold coins per tail. Hey? Ding! Qin He suddenly had an inspiration. Why don't I spend 8 gold coins to buy it in the doomsday store? And then sell it. Even if it is sold for 8.5 gold coins, it is still a profit. Why didn't you think of it earlier? If that were possible, then you could buy everything in the store at a 20% discount and then sell it yourself. It is a stable way for the middleman to make a profit from the price difference. Qin He immediately swiped the light curtain, returned to the doomsday shop area, and bought 1 or 2 fine fibers. After storing in the brain warehouse. Then he slid the light screen of the doomsday trading house to the free trading area. On shelves. Ding dong, 3 rows of red characters appeared in the middle of the light curtain. Bound items cannot be sold. I'm waiting for you, and you still want to take advantage of the loophole? Store items are bound after purchase, don't you understand? Want to cry? Qin He lowered his eyebrows and stared at the screen. Check out the fine fiber you bought at the doomsday store. There is a millet-sized character marked on the upper right corner of the card, bound item. Look at those 4 red words. Qin He bowed his head. The way to get rich is gone. You still have to work hard with your own hands. Qin He bought a few more ounces of fine fiber in the free trade zone, just enough to make an orange crossbow. Now all that's missing is fine gold and steel wood. However, neither of these two things is available in the free trade zone. Can only be purchased in the Doomsday Shop. 1 jin of steel wood, 20 Doomsday gold coins, 10 jins are needed. 1 jin of refined gold, 200 Doomsday gold coins, 10 jins are needed. After a 20% discount, it still costs 1,760 gold coins. Qin He checked his total gold coins. If you buy it, you will lose your position as the number 1 on the wealth list. So he decided to sell something first. On shelves. Exclusive, hammer strong shoes, durability 2 halves, constitution plus 10 strength plus 5 exclusive attributes, already mentioned, omitted. Qin He didn't know how to sell this exclusive equipment. To be honest, the basic attributes are high, but there are only 2 exclusive attributes and naughty. So I lost 100 Doomsday coins. As for whether anyone would buy it, he really couldn't say. Let's see what the trading area says. Master Qin He is selling equipment again. It's a timely relief. My shoes were bitten by zombies yesterday, and I just can't afford to buy more. Exclusive equipment will only be dropped at elite level or above. My friend got one, but it has too few attributes. But you can buy it and wear it first. Now that the big guilds and organizations have disbanded, I probably can't sell them for a high price. Anyway, I clicked the photo because my brother is in need of a pair of shoes. I hope that wearing the shoes of Master Qin He can bring us good luck. Qin He looked at the chat message and didn't respond. This situation is more in line with reality, as everyone is now weak and alone. If you want to buy something, you must buy it. In the end, Hammer Strong's shoes were sold for 320 Doomsday gold coins. Afterwards, he sold the pants that Da Vinci had taken from the Quay thief for 9 gold coins. Today's profit is 329, plus the original 4,818, it has exceeded 5,000. But even if I buy the materials now, I still can't maintain my top spot on the wealth list. I can only help others tonight and earn more money so I can buy it tomorrow. Chapter 73. Trading line closed. Qin He climbed onto the roof and placed the arrow tower on the roof. The arrow tower covers an area of 2 square meters. Height 2 meters. The spire is conical. Much like the dome of a church. The dome has a 4-prong metal clasp. It should be used to store psychic stones. Under the dome is a large crossbow. Further down is the bottom of the arrow tower. Qin He placed a psychic stone in the metal claw at the top of the tower. Click. The claws held the Shinik stone firmly. Rays of light blue light spread from the psychic stone to the entire arrow tower. Then, the arrow tower turned slightly and the crossbow was loaded automatically. Like a soldier guarding a place. Good. While looking at the arrow tower, pray in your heart. I hope Xiaomei is okay and doesn't fly around, otherwise she will really become a specimen. And it was a specimen with a hole in it. It just doesn't look good. Qin He patted the arrow tower. The crossbow immediately turned and aimed at him. It seemed like he recognized that it was one of his own. Then he continued to slowly turn the crossbow platform and guard other places. That's right. Our own arrow tower should not attack our own people. Qin He sat on a chair on the roof, leaning against the arrow tower and looking at the orange-red clouds formed by the setting sun in the distance. So pretty. Your Da Vinci is a little anxious. He jumps to the side of the snake eggs and rubs them, as if he is trying to feel the movement inside. When he sees Xiaohui approaching, he kicks it out. Why are you in such a hurry? Xiaohui rolls his eyes. Let's have dinner? Your Da Vinci is a little anxious now, especially when he sees you boiling water to cook dumplings. The heat makes the water boil, and the dumplings are cooked. These 3 eggs should be able to withstand it, right? Your Da Vinci fell into deep thought. Xiaohui squatted beside him, spit out a nut from his mouth, bit it open, and pushed it in front of his friend, Qin He sitting on the roof. I heard little Gray squeaking. These two are probably having fun again. It's so warm to see the family. Qin He opens the world chat window. Continue to learn new knowledge. Friends, it's almost night again. I upgraded to level 5 yesterday and changed my job. I wonder if the zombie tide will become stronger. Anyone with experience can share with me. Yes, I just changed my job to level 5 the day before yesterday, and yesterday the zombies were all level 5, and their number increased a bit, but fortunately, the elites you mentioned haven't appeared yet. Of course. After I upgraded from level 6 to level 7, the number of zombies increased significantly, but no elites came. Maybe my overall combat power is not enough to fight elites. I just upgraded to level 1, so I can't hear what you big guys are talking about. You don't need to know. It's so nice to be carefree and be a simple child. I really envy you guys for being so relaxed, but I have a piece of advice for you guys as you are out in the wild. You must be prepared. You must be prepared. I'm going to keep running. Qin He looked at the information of the person who was on the way to escape. Why don't you tell me, what is it like in the wild? Is it intentional or genuine? At this time, a group of news made Qin He very uncomfortable. Is there anyone in J City? Have you ever met a man wearing sunglasses who claims to be a good man and does good things? Yes. I would remember him even if he turned to ashes. He killed my wife. I had just dragged her out of the rubble, and then he killed her. I told him that this was the most complete one I had found after searching for a long time. He said that his hand holding the crossbow slipped and he accidentally touched the trigger. Do you believe it? I'm also in J City. Please ask that big brother from last night not to come out and do good deeds again. Why didn't he come? I really wanted him to come. He's so handsome. I was angry because why didn't he even look at me yesterday? Was it because I was wearing too little? Seeing this, Qin He exited the Longwo district channel. I plan to go abroad to learn about their foreign knowledge. Click to take a look. Closed again. Qin He, who was devoted to studying, was blocked outside the door by a sea of letters. Sure enough, the chat window without a translation system is the most inhumane. Whoosh, a red light burst through the air. Qin He held the instant noodles and looked up at the sky. Fireworks scattered everywhere. Spread out countless small points of light. Immediately afterwards, the small light spot exploded again. Form a few big words, Qin He, come on. Qin He is holding a bowl of instant noodles. Are you predicting in advance that I won't be able to complete the task? Follow closely. The world chat channel was boiling. Sure enough, the treatment is different when you become a big boss. When will my name explode and let you know it in heaven? Looking beyond the phenomenon to the essence, I think that Boss Qin He must have encountered some strange hidden mission. After all, anyone who has experienced a hidden mission knows how uncomfortable it is. I remember my hidden mission very clearly. From now on, I will never touch the exclamation mark again. Whoosh, another firework exploded, the third night of zombies officially begins. Qin He ate the instant noodles in 3 or 2 mouthfuls. Looking at the direction of the zombie tide's attack. This time, it was beyond his imagination. Tides of corpses came from all directions. Moreover, the number is at least 1/3 more than last night. Could it be that my level increased too quickly? From level 15 to level 17. There are so many more levels. I hope today's elites aren't too awesome. Roar. The zombies have already rushed to the foot of the mountain. The sloped surfaces on the north, south and west sides are all covered with pavement. The zombies seemed to know what was going on and all gathered towards the eastern hillside. After all, this side of the mountain had been destroyed by the Golden Emperor centipede. Easier to climb. The zombies began to attack like a wave. But this time the zombies are both faster and stronger. They are all better than last night. Qin He used Eagle Eye to check the attributes of several zombies. I found out that they were all level 8 zombies. And there are levels 9 and 10 mixed in. How does that sentence go? When you want money, it knocks on your door. Roar. The first batch of zombies rushed onto the platform. Sitting on the roof and shooting with a crossbow. Clear. A zombie was shot, triggering a knockback effect. The zombies flew backwards and knocked down the people in the back row. Buzz, the arrow tower behind him suddenly moved. The arrow tower shoots with crossbows. An arrow about 1.5 meters long and as thick as a thumb shot out into the air. Pierce a zombie's head and nail it to the ground. Powerful. Qin He saw this. He turned around and patted the arrow tower. Good arrow. What a good arrow. Arrow tower accuracy description, not too disappointing. It really did not disappoint, and it hit the mark on the first shot. The firing rate is a bit slow at 5 seconds per round. If it could be 5 shots per second, that would be really great. Call out. The arrow tower fired arrows at the second group of zombies. Flying away from the zombies. Qin He didn't care. Who hasn't made a mistake? The third row of zombies rushed up again. At this speed, we will be able to climb over the roadblock in no time. Qin He stood up immediately. He holds a shield in his left hand and a tempered spear in his right hand. His eyes were as sharp as torches, staring at the group of zombies below. Shout out loud. Then he carefully climbed the stairs from the second floor to the first floor. He stood at the door, piercing the incoming zombies with his spear across the roadblock. Your Da Vinci looks at you and thinks you are a little cautious today. Your Da Vinci is a little hungry, so he asked you to give him some food before doing anything else. He thinks it doesn't matter if you starve Little Grey to death, but you can't starve your froglet to death. Look, Little Grey has already started licking the snake egg skin. Chapter 74. Qin He threw a dozen worms to them. Continue to fight the zombies across the roadblock. Your Da Vinci thinks that you should rush out to kill the zombies. If you continue to be so cautious, my eggs might be gone when they rush in. Your Da Vinci saw you jumping out, and then he rested on the egg with confidence, eating dinner with Xiaohui around the plate, and watching your performance. Your Da Vinci is cheering you on. Qin He raised his shield to block the zombies in front of him and rushed forward with great force. Knocked several zombies to the ground. Then he turned around and used the tempered spear to sweep the enemy. A row of zombies' heads were chopped off. Then he turned around, walked forward, and stabbed the fallen zombie's head with his gun. Immediately afterwards, another row of zombies rushed over. The arrow tower on the roof fired at the horde of zombies. The arrow pierced through a zombie's chest diagonally from top to bottom, and then penetrated the instep of the zombie behind it, with the arrowhead nailed into the ground. The zombies can't move, they can only stand there. Then, it saw a man coming with a gun. Phew! Qin He shot it through the head. I thought that the accuracy of this arrow tower is still good. Kill two with one arrow. Brush! A crossbow arrow from the arrow tower flew past his ear. Qin He was stunned. Take back what you just said. Roar! The zombies continue to attack. Qin He did not continue to rush forward this time. He is a little scared now. The arrow tower behind him is aimed at zombies, but he doesn't know what it is shooting at. Step backward. He held the crossbow on the shield and shot. Trigger the scatter, and 3 arrows hit the zombies. The knockback effect was triggered, and 3 zombies flew backwards, knocking down the stacked zombies behind them. The arrow tower shot out an arrow, piercing through the 3 fallen zombies. Your Da Vinci and Xiaohui are full. Crawl out from under the roadblock at the door, squat on a stone, with a worm in its mouth. It says to Xiaohui, this is the best place to watch the show. Your Da Vinci tells you that there is a zombie rushing towards you from the left rear. After seeing you turn around and kill it, it tells you that there are 2 zombies from the right rear. Your Da Vinci watches you kill the zombies, and his blood boils. He wants to fight. Just when your Da Vinci was about to jump down, he noticed you yelling at him, telling him not to come over. Da Vinci accepted and licked the little grey beside him. See, Lao Qin feels sorry for me. The little grey was very confused. That expression of wanting to kill a frog, is that also called feeling sorry? Whoosh! A firework exploded. Elites are coming. Qin He looked around cautiously. Last night, a 4-star zombie was beaten to a pulp. According to this logic, I'm afraid there will be a 5-star one. No matter what it is, activate the charged arrow first. The charged arrow is fully charged. Just waiting to fire. No ground shaking. No yelling or shouting. Could it be? Qin He frowned. At this moment, a loud roar was heard, accompanied by a huge black shadow falling from the sky. When the wings are spread out, they are 15 meters wide. The long, sharp beak gleams silver. As expected, has the little kid's wish come true again? Clear. Raise the crossbow and fire. Your Leonardo da Vinci saw you shooting arrows into the sky and thought you were stupid. What could there be in the sky? He looked up and saw a big bird. He thought that it was understandable that his ancestors could not fulfill their wish to eat bird meat. Your Da Vinci took Xiaohui and hid behind a rock. Xiaohui looked at Da Vinci. Don't you want to fulfill your ancestors' wishes? The opportunity has come. Go ahead. Your Da Vinci stepped back and stuck close to the stone. He thought that this opportunity should be left to future generations. Leave more opportunities for young frogs. Qin He's charged arrow missed. He immediately rolled forward to avoid being grabbed by the giant bird's sharp claws. He stood up, raised his crossbow and shot at the giant bird that was climbing again. Snap! The feathers deflected the arrow. So strong. As steady as Qin He is, he can also be a little nervous. Whoosh! The arrow tower fired, but shot in vain. Qin He used Eagle Eye to check the attributes of the giant bird. 5-star elite poacher falcon constitution, 100 strength, 120 agility, 160 spirit, 25 exclusive skill, high altitude swooping. Every time you swoop down from a high altitude, your strength and agility will be doubled. Exclusive skill, high altitude falling objects, grab the prey and bring it to the sky, then drop its source. Once living a carefree life in the wild, one day they were captured and sold by poachers. The doomsday game came and they entered a ferocious mutation. Qin He looks at the weaknesses again. Weakness, have you ever heard of a rabbit kicking an eagle? Its abdomen is its weak point. The neighing started again. The giant eagle swooped down from the sky. Attack again. Qin He moved his left foot to the right. Crossbow reloads. Facing the giant falcon. Be prepared to change direction as it approaches. Call out. Just as the giant eagle approached, an arrow was shot from the arrow tower, hitting it right in the head. Qin He took this opportunity to roll to the right, close to the ground, to avoid being grabbed by the claws. But the speed is still slow. Its left paw hooked my collar. Then the giant eagle flapped its wings and prepared to fly high. The other claw was just about to grab the prey. Qin He took off his equipment immediately. Escaped from its claws. After landing, he fired a crossbow at his abdomen. Clear. The crossbow arrow hit the target. It bounced back again. Isn't the penetration enough? Qin He frowned. Put away the powerful crossbow immediately. Take out exclusive, corporate suit from the brain warehouse and put it on. Hold the berserker axe with both hands. Standing still, looking up at the sky. Roar. The giant eagle attacked again. He dodged the crossbow arrows from the arrow tower and rushed straight towards the people on the top of the mountain. 30 meters. 20 meters. 10 meters. Qin He starts to move in a coquettish way, greatly increasing his strength and agility. At the moment when the giant eagle swooped down and caught. The body leans back quickly. Dodge the claws. The violent axe swung from bottom to top. Phew. A wound was cut on the giant eagle's abdomen, blood spurted out of the wound, and its feathers scattered. The weak point is in the abdomen. The berserker axe is an orange weapon that is sharper and has a huge increase in attributes. Then he cut it open with an axe. The giant eagle screamed and flapped its wings to fly high. Qin He raised his crossbow and aimed at the belly gap to shoot. The crossbow arrow shot into his abdomen. After being fused, the arrow has become a poisonous arrow. Poison arrow attribute, continuous bleeding and corrosion. Your Vinci watched you injure the giant bird, and hopped onto the stone with peace of mind. He thought that he could improve his food. The task that his ancestors had not completed was finally completed by him. The future generations of frogs can only listen to their own legends. Your Vinci watched the giant bird attack you again, but not as fast as before. It watched you easily dodge the attack of the giant bird, and shot at the belly of the giant bird again. The giant bird flapped its wings and flew high, and blood from its belly splattered like rain. Your Vinci found that the blood on the ground turned black and was smoking, as if it was corroded. He looked up at the giant bird and found that it had already flown away. Want to escape? Da Vinci cursed the giant bird. Qin He put away the violent axe. While resting with one hand on his waist, he looked at the giant falcon flying into the distance. He actually wanted to verify it. Leonardo da Vinci is not all wishes will come true. The main thing is that the birds are flying high in the sky. What kind of accidents can happen? Just reached level 1 elevation. A knife cut on the zombie's shoulder. Then he let go of the knife and ran away screaming. He is a man but has a girl's heart. I dare not even kill the fish. He felt like it was just an accident that he was able to survive in the doomsday game. The zombies were chasing him from behind, and he was running in front. Plop! He tripped over the broken bricks on the ground. The running zombie was tripped by him, and fell to the ground. The knife stuck in his shoulder hit the ground and cut off his head squarely. Gao Cheng was so scared that he quickly got up. I patted my chest with both hands and said I was so scared. Whoosh! A red light rose. Gao Cheng knew that his corpse tide was over. This is when he is happiest. He looked up at the red light rising into the sky and a large bird flew by. The fireworks went right into the bird's belly. Then, fireworks exploded. Qin He stood on the top of the mountain, looking at the giant falcon with flames bursting from its belly. His eyebrows twitched slightly. Is this okay? Giant eagle falcon. Falling. Falling. Fall into ruins. Ding indirectly kill the 5-star elite poacher Falcon, gain 200 experience points and gain 200 Doomsday Gold coins after Qin He heard the kill information. He turned around and gave a thumbs up to Vinci who was squatting on the stone. At the same time, I warn you not to have any thoughts about me in the future. Your Vinci raised his head and licked the little grey beside him. My descendants will all remember my legend. Your descendants will only look through the trash. Qin. Chapter 75. Watching the giant bird swooping down from above. He was so scared that he screamed. He crawled and rolled to hide behind the ruins. I am level 1, how could I attract this thing? It's over. Am I going to die? Boom. The giant bird landed on the ground, with its head landing right on the top of the broken wall. A pair of wide-open eyes stared at Gao Cheng. Gao Cheng, who was hiding at the foot of the wall, screamed. Fainted. Qin He rushed down the mountain and retrieved the coat and equipment that was taken away by the giant eagle. After putting it on again, he headed towards the landing point of the giant eagle. A bus passed by. And it didn't stop. Wang Meng frowned, originally thinking that the good guy came to reap the zombies. I didn't expect that they would just leave. It seems that the good guy is not itching to do anything today. Then jump off the bus. Rush into the zombie horde and hack away quickly. Kill the remaining zombies. Since you don't want to try it, don't blame me for not leaving any for you. Fireworks exploded. Wang Meng's corpse tide ended. Qin He jumped onto a high ground. After once again determining the direction in which the giant eagle fell. Keep running. Finally he found it in a ruin. The beam of light that had exploded was still there, but it did not trigger Da Vinci's surprise, and the ground was covered with grey and white cards. The focus is on the corpse of the giant falcon. Keep it for practicing refining puppets. Who can guarantee that refining will be successful in one go? Of course, the more test samples the better. Besides, if this thing can be refined successfully, maybe you can even fly on it. It also fulfilled my childhood dream of becoming a pilot. Collection completed. At this time, his eyebrows moved slightly. He dodged to the right and turned around to fire the crossbow. Good man, spare my life. It's me, I'm Gao Cheng. Gao Cheng crossed his arms over his chest in panic. Elevation. Qin He took a closer look. Oh my god. Isn't this the man who took off his clothes last night after he helped me kill zombies? Although Qin He doesn't mind other people's freedom of orientation, you're covered in chest hair when you take off your clothes. It's really a bit dissuading. Why, are you here? I change places every day. After all, I am very weak. Gao Cheng saw the man in front of him put down his crossbow. When he found that the giant bird was gone, he immediately clapped his hands and said, Good man, you got rid of the bird. That's great, I knew you were awesome. Qin He was speechless. Turn around and prepare to leave. When Gao Cheng saw that people were leaving, a sense of loss appeared on his face. But he didn't expect to follow this man. He knew that the good brother belonged to everyone, not just himself. The awareness is very high. Thank you, good man, brother. Received a thank you from Gao Cheng plus 1 Hui. Qin He was happy. The smile on his lips gradually widened. Oh my god, I almost forgot about the important thing. Immediately turned around and walked towards Jiao Keng. Gao Cheng saw the good guy turn around and smile at him. My little heart is beating so fast like a little deer running around. I'm so looking forward to it. Will he finally be conquered by his own charm? Come on, say what you just said again. What? Half an hour later. Qin He smiled and left. Satisfied to leave the somewhat messy elevation. The latter sat on the gravel, feeling sad. I thought I fell in love with someone and it was going to be a wonderful night. I didn't expect the other party to be a pervert. Damn, I said thank you for half an hour. No wonder I like to be a good person in the doomsday, it turns out I like this hobby. The most important thing is to express your sincere thanks. What he said later was unpleasant, so he just left. How cruel. I, Gao Cheng, really met the wrong person. Don't come here again in the future. Go torture someone else. Qin He checks the progress of the thank you task. 101/1000. He himself didn't expect that this altitude could directly contribute 100 plus. In the end, the other party didn't even have the energy to say thank you. So for the sake of the other person, just let him go. The main thing is that the thank yous that came after are no longer counted. I guess that's the personal limit. It shouldn't be that I'm tired. After all, he still loves to talk and doesn't look unhappy. However, he also summed up an experience. It means really thinking about others. Only then can you get the other party's sincere thanks. As we walked, we arrived at the foot of the mountain where Sundo and his group were. What a coincidence! We also saw the three of them singing and dancing on the top of the mountain to resist the horde of zombies. Judging from the number, it seems that more than half of them have been killed. There are only a few dozen left at the foot of the mountain. After all, they have all changed their jobs, and the number of zombies has increased. Qin He passed the zombies and went straight to the top of the mountain instead of killing them. Sundo felt uncomfortable when he saw people coming. But he still had to put on an act. Here comes the good guy. According to the agreement, everything below is yours. No need. Those are your experience and gold coins. It's not easy for you. I won't compete with you for them. As Qin He was speaking, he shot a zombie that was charging towards him. Gain experience 6, gold 5. Real. Sundo was a little bit unconvinced. After all, you, the good guy, just after you said you wouldn't kill one, you killed one. Really, keep singing and dancing, Qin He said this and walked down the mountain. Ah, this. Sundo and the other two standing on the top of the mountain were a little confused. Are you really leaving? Are you sure you're not lying? Only when they saw that the people had reached halfway up the mountain did they choose to believe it. At this time, Qin He turned around and said, I'm leaving, so you guys won't say anything. Please walk slowly and be careful on the night road. Sundo is indeed very honest. Not this one. Qin He kicks down a zombie that is coming towards him. Ah then. Sundo frowned. What's the matter? Do I have to send you off? Thank you, good brother. Yeah, thank you, good brother, for not taking our resources. Both women spoke at the same time. Received a thank you from Li Shui +1. Received a thank you from Li Yu +1. You're welcome. This is what I should do. Qin He grinned and waved at the two women. He put away his smile and said to Sundo, take good care of them. If they get hurt, don't blame me for being rude. I'll be back later. Sundo looked unhappy. Damn, you're talking like they're your wives. Aren't you being too nice? Thank you, good man. We will take good care of ourselves, thank you, and wait for you to come again. Both women responded at the same time. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Qin He is very happy. Disappeared at the foot of the mountain with satisfaction. Standing on the top of the mountain, Sundo turned around and looked at the two women. Said, you are my women, why are you so gentle to other men? Brother Do, are you jealous? What you said is wrong. It's good that others don't steal our resources. He is stronger than us and so kind. Shouldn't we thank him? Yeah, brother Do, you seem a little stingy now. People who achieve great things don't care about small details. If you are like this, I won't like you. No, I want to thank him. Sundo forced a smile. Today's incident made him realize a truth. As long as you are strong enough, you can be a good guy or a bad guy. Be strong starting today. Otherwise, he might not even be able to protect his wife. Great man. Thanks for making me realize this. Received a thank you from Sundo +1. Qin He was stunned. Sundo actually thanked me? It's just outrageous. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you're notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.